I am officially going live. Whoops. D&D live. Oh, there we go. This is the right. Oh, thanks, phone. All right. Hello and welcome. I currently have 6 other human beings in, well, it could be 5 and a robot. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out. On Discord with me. It's going to be a bit of work trying to manage this many people, but I think we're going to be respectful, and everybody seems to have successful mic checks. So hopefully, if anybody is watching this, or at a later time, because this will be eventually posted on YouTube and to my website and whatnot. And honestly, I plan to watch this one over and over again because I think it's going to be fun. So the way it's going to work is there will be a natural turn order that tries to keep some basic order to things while people are moving on the overworld map. And when they encounter each other and there's interaction between players, then it will be like what you expect Dungeons and Dragons to be, where they can both speak as they would normally, and RP, and there might be a roll for initiative if they kill each other or something like that. We'll see what happens. This is a complete, who knows? We're reinventing the wheel here, and we'll see how it goes. Step 1 is to introduce you guys to the map that will be your map for basically the entirety of this game. I just want to double check that I can ping. Yep, I can ping. Excellent. That's all I need. So the story goes that you are 6 individuals who, unless you guys have organized something in your backstories that I'm unaware of, don't know each other and are dropped on this island magically. When you came down, you came from above. Some magical beam dropped you in. So you got a good look at what the whole map looked like. And I've secretly given you each a number, which I am also tracking, which is where you are. And if 2 people are in the same spot, there's some tables I'll roll on to see how or if you guys interact with each other. And we'll see how that goes. Every hour of the whole thing will be planned over 24 hours, and every hour will be a round where each person gets to choose something that they want to do for that hour. It could be investigate the surroundings. It could be look at that giant tower thing that's right there. It could be to move to another section. It could be to climb a tree and set up a trap of some sort. I don't know. You guys are the creative ones, and I'm okay for this getting as weird or as simple as possible. This is so experimental. You guys basically can't do anything wrong except for just starting to scream expletives. So I think as long as you don't do that, we'll be all right. So you guys were dropped down on this island in your respective sections. You have this weird, this is some DM hand waving if you guys don't figure it out as I explain this, but you all have this telepathic link with each other for some reason, where you can kind of half see what everybody else sees. This is going to kind of explain away why you'll hear what other players are doing. And if you decide to do something that's not generic, like, for example, investigate the 4 major points of interest on this island, everybody will know where you are because it only exists in one spot, right? So if you say, I'm going to investigate the tower, well, then everybody knows that's where you are. So if you just move or randomly set up a trap, you could be in any of those sections. So there are 4 points of interest that you maybe want to be aware of. There's this giant tower, sticks out like a sore thumb. There's this waterfall. There is this, I used a rock to represent it, but essentially there's something massive above the trees moving. And it's up to you guys if you want to investigate a giant thingy that's moving around. And lastly, the center has some kind of temple-y altar thing on it. So again, it's up to you guys. Going to the center may be risky, because if more than one person plans to do it, then there'll be an encounter. Or maybe you want to kill people. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Also, every one of you reaches into your pocket and feels 1 tribute coin, which I explained in the rules. It's essentially your score. You want to get as many of these as you can, and at the end of the 24-hour period, which is how long this game will be, hopefully in-game time, not real-life time, the most tribute tokens will be the victor. Not necessarily deciding who will be in the campaign necessarily. That will be just general playability and likability and other things, but it still doesn't hurt to just be awesome and win. I'm expecting some people to die. If they get killed, don't feel like you have to leave. There's rules in place where things could happen. So kind of like in Survivor, if anyone remembers that show, just because you're voted off the island doesn't mean you have to completely leave and give up. Unless you have to. Unless for some reason it's 4 a.m. in Europe and you just want to go to bed. Then maybe I'll just drop you entirely, which is fine. I've randomly decided already the turn order. And I'm basically just going to tell you guys, and it's up to you guys to do your thing. But before we do that, I guess I will introduce everyone. Anyone watching the stream, the extension is enabled, and you can look to the side, and all 6 players will be available on the extension. You can just hover over the left of the screen, and you can look at anyone's character sheet and learn a little bit more about them. I'm going to slowly go through the list and let each person just say hi, so you can kind of get a feel for their voice and maybe say a 1 or 2 liner just to introduce themselves. The first person in the turn order and the first person that's going to introduce themselves is a player playing a character called Patchessel Ambershard. I'm going to call you Patch. I don't know. It's easier for me to say. And they're playing an elf fighter. So if you would like to just say hi.
Howdy.
Next will be Terminus, a half-elf sorcerer. If you'd like to say hi.
Hello, people.
Third person is Acel, a human monk, multi-class with a little bit of sorcerer, so there's some magic there. If you want to say hi.
Hey, people.
Fourth on the list is Blackbeard, just one name. I'm assuming playing a very piratey character. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello. Kind of piratey, I don't know, I just went weird with it. Don't expect to hear his voice, I'm going to be doing an awful accent.
I mean, it seems like an accent to me because I'm from North America.
No.
Fifth is Subark. I'm not going to do the last name. I'm just going to call you Subark, and you can correct me if that's wrong. A half-orc fighter. So we have 2 fighters total. One's an elf, one's a half-orc. Say hi.
Hello. I'm also doing a piratey theme.
I notice a bit of an echo. I'm just going to mute you on roll 20.
Okay.
I think that happens to me sometimes. And then it's a triple echo because I have 2 roll 20s open, so. Could you just speak again?
I'm here, and I'm also doing a bit of a piratey theme, although I will not break your ears by doing an accent.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And the last person is playing Bellows Storm. Chose a class I wasn't familiar with at first, an Eladrin monk. And my understanding is an Eladrin is just an elf from the Feywild and essentially just an elf for the most part stat-wise. Feel free to say hi.
Hello.
So yeah, we're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to somehow kill off a bunch of people and do combat and all those things. And I have tables to roll on and traps and monsters and sweet item rewards in somehow a 3-hour period. Also, like with our regular campaign stream, we'll take a quick break about the halfway point. So if anyone needs to go to the washroom, get something to eat, you guys don't have to struggle through 3 hours like I would normally for a stream. You guys will get a nice break because it's 6 people and you can't really ask 6 people or 7, I guess, including myself, to sit for 3 hours patiently. Although, if you really wanted, you could all just take a break when it's not your turn. And if you all did that and told me it was cool halfway through, then I would play on. Because there will be downtime between your turns, so it might be worth it to just sneak off if you want. But I'll still offer it when it comes up. So, there are 6. Just to confirm, I guess I should have mentioned, everyone's a level 3 character. So, relatively weak and squishy. Strong enough that they won't die to the first enemy I throw at somebody. They have a bit of an HP pool, but I'm expecting people to get killed. They're not level 10, they're not level 20. There will probably be some deaths. And I'm excited to get right into it, so let's start it up. The first person I introduced was, I'm just going to say Patches, because I don't want to try to struggle with that name unless you want to correct me. What would you like to do with your first hour on the island?
Not gonna lie, I have no idea where I am.
Okay, I did message you, it was just a number. I DM'd you.
Oh, okay.
So that's which of the 6 sections. No one started in the center. Everybody started in a forested area. One of the 6 surrounding areas.
I wanna move
If you're gonna move,
to a different area.
okay. So just DM me the number, and then I will immediately. You'll interact with someone for sure, unless you're going to the center, and they'll know that because you won't interact with anyone. And then I will. I'll roll on the tables, and we'll see what happens when the first meeting of the people, essentially. Okay, so give me a sec to do this. I'm going to do a quick roll on... Oh, I guess I need both the rule sets open, my own and... Because I don't... That interaction rule table is on there. The rules I sent you guys. So, there obviously will be an interaction here. I'm just going to do a quick roll to see the encounter range. I rolled a 4, so it will be at 120 feet. You guys are far ways away, and it'll be up to you guys to decide what you want to do with that. And we will say that there is a river separating you guys. That's about 20 feet wide in the exact center of that 120 feet distance, and it's wading depth. So you can go through it at half speed if you would like. The person you interacted with is Blackbeard, and I would like you both to roll me just a general. I don't know why I'm saying general. A stealth check, please. Assuming everyone's attempting to be stealthy at any given time. If you guys could just both roll stealth for me. Patches rolling a 10. Awesome. And if Blackbeard, you could roll me the other one.
Oh, I already did roll. It should be. Just...
Oh, sorry. Did you? Oh, there we go. Okay.
That's what happened there.
And then if you guys could both roll an active perception check as well, and we'll see if you guys both see each other or one of you is lucky. Oh, okay. So you definitely see Blackbeard. Does Blackbeard see you? No.
I'm blind as a bat.
Well, to be fair, it's a far distance, and you just showed up on this island, so you're wandering around a little, trying to get your bearings, and Patches sees you just straight shot across the way, and now you guys are free to roleplay this how you want. Although, I'm going to give... Actually, sorry. It's up to you to decide if you want to engage in combat, I guess. If you don't, you can do whatever you want. But if you engage in combat, we can roll initiative, and they'll have surprise for one round, which is kind of worthless at 120 feet. But, I mean, most of you have range stuff, although you're an elf fighter. I don't know if you have a bow. Maybe you do. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm gonna engage in combat.
Okay, all right. We have our first potential bloodbath here. If you guys could both roll initiative for me. This could be over very quickly.
Yeah, just wait.
Although the initiative's a little silly considering.
Wow.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so Blackbeard is first, but you're surprised, so you do nothing. And Patches, it's. Do you mind that I'm calling you Patches? Because I know it's your character.
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay. So yeah, you're 120 feet away. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot at Blackbeard with my longbow.
Excellent. Is it going to be at disadvantage? I forget the exact range. On a
No,
longbow.
the range is 150.
Oh, okay. Well, are you going to back up 30 feet then? I don't know.
No.
No. Okay, so you're going to just shoot at him. All right, go for it. Roll to hit. A 10? I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that probably doesn't hit.
No, not at all.
But you are suddenly aware that you're being shot at as an arrow zooms past you and hits the tree just over your head. And you dart in the direction that you saw, and there is a fighter, an elven fighter with a bow, notching, I'm gonna guess, notching a second arrow, getting ready to go. But it is now Blackbeard's turn. What would you like to do now that you're less surprised?
Well, it's only fair to fight back. Yeah, what in tarnation are you doing, you filthy elf? To do an Eldritch Blast.
Sounds good. You guys are just gonna shoot at each other from 120 feet away? I love it. Let's do it. What's the
Sniper Wars.
what's the range on? Is Eldritch Blast massive?
120 feet.
Oh, well then, let's do it. I like this because if someone gets hurt, they could always just probably book it away. But let's see what happens. Go for it. Roll to hit.
God, why does it have to lag so much?
Rip. It is a little slow. Do you know the roll before it shows up? Because you could just tell me.
Let's see,
Eldritch Blast. You rolled 12? No.
Yeah, it's a 12 to hit.
12 to hit? Okay, well,
That does not hit.
I'm gonna guess that the fighter was able to deflect, or I guess you don't deflect an Eldritch Blast. You just deftly dodge out of the way as it slams into the ground beside you. Now you're both aware of each other. I'm assuming that's it, Blackbeard?
well... I'm just gonna hear start cursing. Damn you, hero elf, come here and fight!
If you guys slip a little bit of cursing in, it's not the end of the world, but, you know.
Oh, don't get me started on that. It will not end well.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give Patches her turn back. What would you like to do?
A little spooked by the Eldritch Beam, I back away just 10 feet and shoot again.
Sounds good. Roll to go. A 22. I'm gonna guess that hits a warlock.
Yes, by quite a bit.
Yeah. So that arrow just digs deep into your shoulder. You can feel it as the impact bring you back, and you take 8 points of piercing damage. I asked that you guys try to keep track of your hit points on your own for me. I cannot manage 6 people's hit points along with everything else. And you guys will have to just be honest and tell me if it's your last hit point or not.
Wait. I'm an arcane archer. I can technically choose
Oh, yeah, you got more to go?
if... So... Let me find this thing.
You're in trouble, my little pirated friend.
Why, you just
Yeah,
wait.
so that
That's up
arrow
to them.
is a bursting arrow.
Oh,
Okay. Is that an extra d6? Immediately after the arrow hits the creature, the target and all other creatures within take...
Oh.
Oh, well that doesn't... You can do that if you wish, but there aren't any other creatures around him. Oh, the target and all other... I'm sorry, I'm being dumb. Okay, so the arrow impacted, and now it's going to erupt, and you're going to take 2d6 additional damage. So feel free to roll that. I'm not sure if there's a button for it. If there isn't, you can just do /roll 2d6, and it will roll it. Okay, so that is a total of 16 damage. I don't know what your health point total is, but I'm guessing you're now at least bloodied at less than 50% health.
Less than 50%. Oh, that's being a bit generous.
You are hurting. I didn't expect this to be so lethal so quickly.
No mercy.
It's your turn, Blackbeard. You are bleeding.
Oh, I'll be back again to get you. I'm going to be casting Expeditious Retreat.
Excellent, excellent. That makes sense to me. I don't...
Coward.
I'm gonna give it to you, and like we could try to argue the footage, but you get it for like a minute, right? So I'm gonna guess that you get away, especially with the river in between.
Yep.
You're out of here, but you're still in section 3. So if your turn comes around again and you don't move out of the section, you guys will potentially interact again. And if somebody else shows... Sorry, I shouldn't have said what section you're in. I apologize. Whatever section you guys are in, DM slip up, if someone else was to enter that section, there's a potential for a 3-way encounter or more. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to consider that finished. You guys are both just searching around in the forest, kind of hanging out at the moment.
Oh, I'm licking my wounds.
There are... I added... There's a lot of ways to get health potions in this game, so hopefully you make it to something like that before a monster or a trap kills you in some way. Okay, excellent. So that was our first encounter. Awesome. I liked how it went, except for me spoiling where you guys were. That I'm kind of annoyed by. Next up is Terminus Harper, our half-elf sorcerer. What would you like to do with your turn, your hour?
I suppose I'd probably be... Sorry. I suppose that I'd probably be scavenging for food. After all, if we're going to be here for a while, then I might as well get something tasty to eat.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it until a few hours in. You know what? No, that's fine. You can scavenge for food. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, actually, I did want to mention one thing. I should have said this earlier. You guys got dropped in with your, like, combat gear and maybe your spell books, but all your, like, torches, hemp rope, like assorted miscellaneous items did not come with you that normally a starting character would have. You basically don't have any tools with you. You just have your weapons, your spells. Yeah, so you have no rations. So if you would like to go gather food, yeah, sure. Are you gonna just do that for the whole hour? Is that the plan?
That is, in fact, the plan.
Okay.
Terminus Harper, a con man he used to be, but boring he is also.
That's fine, because I have rules for when players wander around the forest. And we will see, and I will roll and tell you exactly what you encounter. Okay. Let's see what you find randomly as you're walking around. Oh, that's fun.
The sound of those dice are terrifying.
The fact I have to keep rolling should bother you a little bit. Okay, I love this. Let's see what happens. 1 second. So, as you're gathering food, you find like a nice patch of berries. And you're like, alright, these berries look edible, and I guess you're gathering them up into a pouch or something. If you would like to keep track that you have a pouch full of berries, that's completely up to you. But while you're doing that, you hear a strange kind of skittering sound on the ground, and as you turn around from the bush, you see a old zombie hand crawling towards you, and two more back a bit. I would like you to roll initiative, please. You're being attacked by some monsters.
Yeah, that was a bit objectively obvious to me.
Oh.
So the first hand is 20 feet away, and the next two are... Okay, they're faster than you then. Wait, two...
Okay, I may or may not have gotten the lowest result I could possibly get.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to take that nat 1, which is too bad. So the two in the back are now 10 feet away from you, and the one is on you and doing its crawly claw business as it tries to deal damage to you. Don't be too concerned. They're not the strongest enemies in the world, but there are 3 of them. So it's going to try to hit you. And it has rolled an 8. I'm going to guess an 8 doesn't hit you. So you're just batting away this like zombie hand that's like crawling up your leg. And you're trying to keep it from...
It'd be rather hilarious if it did hit me, though.
It's your turn.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use Mage Hand to get the hand on my, what'd you say, shoulder off of me?
Yeah, sure. You can,
I'm not sure what touching the thing directly will do to me, so... But after I do that, I want to essentially try getting out of the area.
Okay, sure. I'll give it... If you just run plus dash... Actually... If you used Mage Hand to get the claw... You know what? That's fine. It doesn't actually have, like, a grasping attack on you. This is probably the most boring way to finish the encounter, but that's totally allowed. You have a total movement of, I'm going to guess, 60 with a dash, and they're slower than that. So, yeah, you successfully run away from these little hand guys. But they will remember you. Somehow. They have no mind. But even though you've gotten away, they may appear again at some inopportune moment.
Say what you want about the boring method, but it works the best.
You're not dead. You also didn't...
you yelly bellowed coward.
You didn't take 16 points of damage, so that's...
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, boring or 200 IQ, says someone in chat. I agree. Some of the monsters, are faster moving, but that's okay. You've chosen how to deal with it, and you're alive. Okay, so you're still where you are. You have a handful or a bag full of berries after your hour of running around the forest.
I escaped some monsters, I got to use a spell, and I got to get some food. That so far has been successful for me.
Sounds good. So third up on the list is Acel. What would you like to do with your hour? Also, correct me if my name pronunciation is wrong. Are you there? Mr. No Can?
I just realized that I was muted on Discord.
Well, that's how you learn. That's how you learn you're muted.
Oops. Right, yeah, to try and get lay of the land, I'm going to start heading towards that tower.
Excellent. So we now are all quite aware where Acel is. He is. You guys all feel it in your mind. You feel as someone approaches this tower, and as you get near it, you see it's massive, stretching way up into the sky. It's kind of like the right size as the island. It is like massive, like hundreds of stories up, and you kind of get this feeling that it's got a bit of a magic... This whole thing is going to have a lot of DM magic hand-waving, but you feel like there might be something like that involved. As you approach, there's big stone doors that easily open and give way to you. I'm going to assume you're going to enter and investigate, which I have a roll for.
That would be correct.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The giant tower. What's in this giant tower? Okay. It is not the same table as just investigating the forest randomly. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I love this one. Okay.
Oh no, that's never a good sign.
The DM loves it. Oh no,
Help.
I am dead. So you find yourself climbing stairs endlessly. It takes you the full hour to get up to this room. And once you get up to that room, there's nothing in it except for a weird pedestal with a book on it. Also, whenever you come to one of these rooms, you can look out the window, and regardless of how far you've been walking, you're always... You know what? I missed something. I'll just put it in this room. I was supposed to give it to you when you walked in, but that's okay. There's also a skeleton masoned into the wall, and it is outstretched holding a potion for you, which I will say you have knowledge of. It gives you if you drink this potion, it's basically Featherfall and allows you to jump out the window, which is the only way down from this tower. And it's like hundreds of feet down. If somehow you get pushed out this window or whatever, it's going to be a ton of damage. But if you drink this potion first, it's a safe fall down and you're fine. The pedestal in the room has writing on it, and you also notice the book has all 6 players' names. The 6 people that are here with you. And there's a pen, and it says that the one you cross off will be marked for death. And you're given this opportunity to, if you would like. If you want, I can tell you the people's names again if you don't remember them.
Oh no, I've got the list up on stream.
Excellent. So, just so you don't feel too bad, this will not just instantly kill them, but it will not be nice, whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, I assume that by the mark for death instead of just death.
Death would be boring.
Well,
We want fun stuff to happen.
exactly. Well, this is a rather grim thing to find immediately. And, looking over for a few seconds, she is going to scratch out Blackbeard.
Oh no, Blackbeard! Okay, so
Oh, you've got it in for me.
as soon as you scratch out Blackbeard's name, the rest of the book closes on you, and you're not given an opportunity to do any further damage. And now Blackbeard, he feels this happen. He knows it's happened, but nothing has happened immediately to him. Give me
Yeah, you utter bastard.
let me
What's
just.
the accent?
I just have to keep track of one more thing now. Okay, excellent. Okay, that was is it Acel? Acel? Is it
Acel.
Acel? Not asshole, not incel? Okay, just double check. All right, 4th person is Blackbeard. You are wounded, and it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, gotta get out of here. Head to that temple.
You're gonna move, and I'm gonna guess
To see.
because it's the only one you know there's no one at, because you actually don't know where Patches came from. So okay, that's a safe bet. You didn't have to truly announce it, but yeah, it takes you about an hour, but you travel through the forest, and like you could have just messaged me the C, but they probably would have figured it out. Because I'm spoiling people's positions all the time like an idiot as a bad DM. but whatever. You've moved.
Well,
You've
I've
moved
to the
there.
actual temple anyway, so.
And so you'll need another hour to investigate this thing. So you're just made it to that area at this point. It's kind of a boring turn overall, but you didn't take a whole bunch of damage, so that's nice. The next person to go is Subark, the half-orc fighter.
I'll be going to the center of the map.
Okay, again, you don't have to tell me on stream. You could have just messaged me to see, but we're gonna find out very quickly that there's a potential interaction here with Blackbeard. So, I guess we're gonna see what happens. Let me do some rolling here.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Okay, we're gonna check the engagement distance. It's 4 again. So this time there's like this massive overgrown like bramble mess like between you guys. So you're 120 feet away and there's like this mess of brambles between you guys, just making it extra nasty. We're gonna say this time you could go around it, but it's gonna take you a while, or you can go through it at half speed, and we'll deal with that if you attempt to move that way. Now we need to roll to see if you guys notice each other. So first will be stealth checks, if you guys can both roll those. Oh, you're very stealthy.
Oh wait, I have disadvantage.
Oh yes, I should. Yeah, I'm sorry. If anybody's wearing heavier, medium or heavier armor, yeah, let me know because
I just got a second 18.
Excellent. Okay, and then active perception.
I'm not having the best of luck here.
You might be the first one to die. We'll see what happens.
Quite possibly.
You might have wished you had a last name, is what you might wish. Okay, so Blackbeard isn't noticed. There's always a chance you guys don't notice each other.
God.
And the encounter just won't happen. Yeah. two ships passing in the night. You guys did not know how close you came to potential combat. It can happen. It can happen where you get lucky and don't get attacked while you're wounded.
Not like I was there for combat.
Yeah, maybe you were gonna...
We pirates have to stick together.
Yeah, they... Yeah, okay, so you're both in that section. Again, there's always a chance that you guys could both just be exploring that section on your own if this kind of thing keeps happening, which is... It's possible. If both of you have high stealth and low perception, although, honestly, looking at the modifiers, I think that was pretty lucky. So, yeah, you guys are both there, and we're going to go to the last person involved, which is... Bello, been waiting patiently the longest. What would you like to do with your hour?
Can I stealthily hide first?
You just want to stay where you are?
No, I want to stealthily move away from my place.
Sure. Well, I've been kind of giving everybody the benefit of the doubt that everyone's moving stealthily in this situation. I kind of picture people in this like Katniss, Hunger Games scenario. If you're moving through a forest, people have to kill you. I think everybody's moving stealthily. So, yeah, excellent. You're moving stealthily.
I try to move to this area.
Sure. If you just send me a quick DM in Discord.
Carefully.
Carefully.
Move to this area.
Excellent. Okay, let me just... Actually, I just realized I didn't update where everybody was. Okay, so you move there, and there is a potential encounter, so I will have to roll on some tables again to see what happens. Okay, I rolled a 1, so depending on how your rolls go, you guys will only be 20 feet from each other. Just bump into each other when this thing happens. Could you and Patches please roll stealth for me?
I got a 12.
Okay, excellent. And now active perception rolls? Okay, so Patches is oblivious at the moment. You actually both miss each other. Somehow, again, it's a strange thing that happens. But yeah, you both somehow missed each other, just like you were like breathing each other's air as you walked past each other, and somehow just didn't notice each other, and are both sitting in the same spot, potentially able to continue to investigate that area on your turns if you want, with the chance of running into each other again.
A very large squirrel, that was.
Hi, Patches.
Indeed.
I was too distracted knowing that I asserted my dominance over Blackbeard.
I can't wait for that to be the
I'm
only
looking for
encounter
Blackbeard
the entire,
here.
this entire game.
Blackbeard's gonna die. Or die trying to die. But Blackbeard's dying.
Okay, so we're officially 1 hour into the game now. It started at noon, high noon, and the sun is starting to move. It is still bright, complete light for everybody. I remember giving you guys, what did I say it was? 6 and 2, so that's 3. So, I'm just doing mental math here. I think we have to be like 8 hours in before we have to worry about light. So, we're just going to keep being daytime, and maybe people will die before I need to worry about how bright it is outside. That took us almost half an hour to do a full round. I don't know if we can do 24 of those. We'll see what we can do.
Blackbeard, hurry up and die already.
I don't think it'll take long.
You underestimate our power of procrastination.
I'll give everyone between rounds a quick second if it... I mean, you guys already did it, but is there anything anybody wants to say before moving on again?
Yeah, can I just say, sod you?
Me as the
Very,
DM?
very mean. No.
Okay, cool. All right, so we are officially back up at the start of the turn order, if you want to call it that. Patches, it is your turn. What would you like to do with your hour?
Don't do it.
I want to check out that waterfall.
Okay, awesome. That's not a bad idea. So now we know, you guys technically know both where Patches and Bello are, because, in fact, you guys know where everybody is, essentially, because I've spoiled it by accident, except for, I believe Terminus is the one you were the one who ran with the berries, right?
You would be correct in that assumption.
So you're the only one who no one really knows where you are, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, because I ain't trying to murder everyone.
I'm just gonna hide in this tree until everyone's dead. Okay, so you go to the waterfall, and it's this massive, we'll say like Angel's Fall waterfall coming down, and like all good fantasy worlds, it has that, after a quick investigation, I could make you roll, but I like just giving it to you, that has a behind the waterfalls situation where you can proceed. yeah, sorry, Ezekiel, yeah. Pachesel, I've been pronouncing as Patches, just for this.
Patchesel.
Patchesel? Oh, I could just say Patchesel instead of Patches? Okay.
But Patches is such a cute nickname.
Yeah, I like Patches, but for the sake of any viewers who are just catching up now, Patches is Patchesel Ambershard. So you come to the waterfall, you creep behind it, and investigate this small cavern behind the waterfall, and there is an old mermaid laying on a rock. With like a pond of water that she could go into if she needed to, but she's sitting there kind of watching you and waiting for you to come forward. And I'm going to be honest, there's almost no roleplay for me in this entire thing, and I kind of don't feel like doing it for an old mermaid. So, yeah, I know, it could have been a beautiful mermaid. I thought old was cooler. Because she's a wise mermaid, and she tells you that she has treasures, but to acquire them, you must answer riddles. And she will offer a riddle, and you only get one guess per hour. So if you would like to guess the answer to the riddle, and if you're incorrect, you'll have to wait until the following hour to try again. I'm hoping that None of my riddles... Are we all native English speakers? Like, I'm hoping that I don't come up with a riddle that's just impossible for some people to solve. I'll feel bad. But I did actually... I got one riddle that I've heard of, and there are more riddles that I came up with myself. And we'll see how terrible they are.
Ooh, interesting.
The first riddle that she gives you... And you could always just choose to leave, I suppose, but it's free. Why wouldn't you try to win the award here?
Might as well give a shot.
Okay, the mermaid says, "You throw away my outside and cook my inside. Then you eat my outside and throw away my inside. What am I?" And you have an hour to think about it. No.
I leave.
You leave? Totally acceptable. I'll just say it again.
I just walk away.
I don't blame you.
I'll just throw the riddle out again for it, because you guys all technically hear this through the telepathy. There's also, I guess, nothing stopping chat from like looking it up and just spoiling it for anyone watching. Because this is the only one I didn't make up. So, I mean, it exists out there on the interwebs. The riddle again was... You throw away the outside, then cook my inside. Then you throw... Oh my goodness, I'm just going to read it again. You throw away my outside and cook my inside. Then you eat my outside and throw away my inside. What am I? And... obviously a stool, yeah. Okay, so you've decided not to answer the mermaid's riddle, which is fine with me. And since you were at the waterfall instead of just searching the random forest, I'm not going to do an encounter roll. You guys can just both coexist in that section for the moment, and we'll see what happens. Although, if you also go to the waterfall, I'll let you give a guess to the waterfall, and then there'll be... I'm just going to DM hand wave stuff. So for now, I'm saying you guys are just both in the same area with no encounter just yet. Next up is Terminus.
Then I suppose that it would be my turn now. Oh, by the way, just to make sure that I'm not being an idiot, we're not supposed to be in the Twitch chat, yeah? I've been doing things right.
It's if you are, you are. I mean, I kind of don't hate the viewers, so if you guys give me the viewers, that's cool. But I don't think there's anything going on that really influences the game. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Alright, fair enough. Also, I'd like to go to another area. Actually, wait, no, hold on. I'd like to set a trap for whatever comes near me.
Okay, sure. No one knows that you're there, but that's totally cool. You may spend time setting up...
I don't want
to... what kind of trap are you thinking?
Oh, no. I actually don't want one for people. I want one for an animal via the use of the berries.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You can do that. So you find some like snares and like some cages. Like you make like a really lame like rock fall on something trap. You put berries under that and berries under the snare. Can you just roll me a general survival check to see how good you are at the thing that you're trying to do? And while you're doing that, I'm not sure. Why was there 2?
Oh, sorry. I have a
with advantage. That's fine. I'll just take the first.
No. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's a 16. No modifiers or anything. Sorry for being boring, chat, but I don't know, just being practical.
Okay, while you're doing this, you're setting up these traps, and I feel like I'm giving this to the one person who's not going to utilize it, but that's fine. We rolled it. You actually come to this weird clearing where there are 6 doors that are just like kind of in an arc in front of you, and each one is marked 5 numbers, which I'm not going to say, and the letter C. You can probably guess what the doors will do. I'm going to guess you just ignore them, though. Am I right in that assumption?
Unfortunately, you are in fact correct. I know of their general existence. Everyone else does, but I'm going to ignore it.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure you guys could have figured out what those would have done, but we're not going to do them, so that's cool.
Once again, sorry for everyone.
No, it's all right. It's all right. You spend your hour doing that, and we'll see what happens when your turn comes around again. Up next is Aesel.
Just because I don't think you finished mentioning what was outside the window. There was something odd about it that you set yourself off with the Featherfall potion.
Oh, okay, sorry. So, yeah, every time you find yourself seeing these rooms every once in a while. They're mostly empty except for the one that you just saw. But every time you look out the window, it's the same, 300-foot drop every time. You go back down some stairs, you look out the window, it's the same. You go up the stairs, you look out the window, it's the same. And you realize that there's some kind of magical enchantment going on, that you can continue to investigate this tower, but the only way to leave the tower is to drink this potion and jump out the window. I thought it would be important to mention, because if ever there's an encounter with another person, you guys could potentially push each other out the window.
And is the window looking out over the island?
Yes, it is.
Is 300 feet high enough to make out any other landmarks besides the clearing in the middle?
When you guys all came down, you were aware of the waterfall, the tower, the clearing in the middle with the temple thing, and something massive is moving in the fifth section. I put a rock there because it's you can kind of see something very rocky is moving around and pushing massive trees out of the way. Something big is moving around there. The DM has considered it a landmark, so maybe it doesn't instantly kill you. Yeah, but you can't really make out other players. You don't discern any more information from anybody, even though we already know where most people are.
Yeah, I was just looking for landmarks.
Cool.
I will continue heading up the tower.
Sounds good. Let's see what happens. Well, I'm gonna re-roll that one. That was not exciting. It was the same thing again. I'm not gonna give it to you twice. There we go. This is
everyone shall be marked.
Okay. This is not super exciting, but it will give you some information. The whole party will gain information. So, as you come into this room, they're all these same cubicle, let's say 20 by 20 rooms. They all seem to be identical, but this time it's with something different. Instead of that pedestal, you come in and there's this weird ornate shrine to some kind of potato top hat wearing god. And there's an inscription that says, let me just remember quickly before I tell you what happens. Oh, shoot. I forget where I put this.
Clearly, this is some kind of place of worship.
So you notice that there is a place to put your tribute coin if you want, and the wording on the thing says payment in coin for immediate respite, and you kind of translate that to mean this is the only existing way on the island are these shrines that allow you to essentially have a long rest. So it's up to you if you want to do it, even though you're not hurt. There is a slight benefit to being the person with fewer coins, because you won't get pinged in the 4-hour time periods, but you won't receive the bonus of a long rest from it.
Yeah.
So
Nah, I'd
you keep your coin?
Yeah, in fact, if it's possible, I would like to down the Featherfall potion
And leave the tower?
from the window.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So you are just hanging out in that forested area, and we can deal with what you'd like to do on your next turn. So Blackbeard, it is your turn. What would you like to do with your 1 hour?
I'd like to. Well, first of all, I'd like to summon my familiar because I've forgotten to do.
Sounds good. What is your familiar in the shape of?
Uh,
that is
to
a
the-
long.
Good God, yes. I don't put any of that. All that's needed.
Yeah, just let me know what it is and.
Change that. I'll change it. A hawk.
A hawk. Okay, sweet. So you got a hawk. And that hawk did not take 16 points of damage.
And I would like to explore the temple.
Excellent. Okay. So, as you come up to this temple, there's an altar. I'm gonna use different terminology because we're getting similar things now. There was a shrine, which was how you paid tribute for long rests. There was a pedestal, which had a book, or I'm gonna call that actually I called it something cool. The book. I'm gonna call it the Book of Names, I think. Or pedestal of names, and then lastly, this is an altar. They're all very similar in concept. They're just generic MacGuffins so that I can do things. But you notice on this I forget the word I used already, altar, that there are assorted puzzles all over the place, and you quickly investigate them and realize these puzzles are not difficult to solve, but they're incredibly time-consuming. And you realize you have to spend time trying to solve these puzzles to get some potential reward. And the inscription / DM hand-waving is, if you were to sit here and complete these puzzles, it's actually worth 2 tribute coins. But you spend your hour investigating this, doing the puzzle, and after an hour, you feel you're only about a third of the way completed. And since you're staying in the central area, I'm going to roll to see if there's some interaction between you and a Subark real quickly. As well as another interesting thing that you'll hear about in a second. Okay, so first things first. I rolled a 3, so maybe I should have made half the rolls 120 feet away, but that's okay. We're 120 feet away, and if you guys could both roll stealth. Actually, sorry. Yeah, sure. I'll have you both roll stealth. I don't know how you're stealthily doing puzzles, but I'm going to have you both roll stealth real quick.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a shadow, slowly tweaking them together.
I'll actually say it's with disadvantage, if that makes sense. And then, because, yeah, and Subark also has disadvantage, so you'll both be doing 2 stealth rolls. All right. And then feel free to roll your perceptions after.
Right, gotta roll for second stealth, see if it gets even worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Then perception.
Okay. It didn't get better, but it didn't get... Okay. Subark definitely sees you. Do you see him back, is the question.
I need some elevator music when I'm waiting for my rolls to go through.
Okay, so you're surprised. I feel so... This is not going to go good for you, I don't think.
That's why I have the familiar.
So, yeah. You arrive, you're 120 feet apart. Subark sees you, and you are right now oblivious. And then, on top of that, Subark only notices, I'm going to say in a triangle formation currently, about 120 feet away from both of you, you see a wraith. You see a shadowy, deathly figure that seems to have its gaze set on Blackbeard. And maybe you guys can kind of put 2 and 2 together as to why this is going on. Subark, what would you like to do with this advantage?
I shout a greeting at Blackbeard and point out the shadowy wraiths because they're giving me a bad feeling.
Okay. So, that's fine. So we're not
Ahoy
going...
there, matey!
we're not going to go into initiative then. You guys can RP this a little bit if you'd like, from 120 feet away.
God damn it, I can't shout. I'd be shouting right now. Ahoy there!
What be your name?
I be Captain Blackbeard. What be your name?
A captain, eh? It just happens to be that I'm looking for a new captain and crew.
You're
We are both pirates, yes.
Okay, so as you guys are talking, the Wraith is slowly moving towards Blackbeard. I'm going to say it's now 111 feet away from, or 110 feet away.
I point that out to him. Because he likely didn't notice.
Sounds good?
Yeah, God, we better scamper. I get the crips on that thing.
Fair enough. What do you say we do, Captain?
Right. And where we are, might be a good bit of cover. That thing looks pretty menacing. Maybe we should head over to that large object. He won't follow us there.
Yeah, if you're sure, let's go.
Okay. So you guys, I'm taking away from this that you guys are going to flee the Wraith and not engage. What any good D&D player would know is probably a little too tough for even the pair of you. I'm gonna keep. So since you guys are acting together, unless you guys tell me different, I'm gonna treat your guys' turn at the same time and let you guys do things together now. Unless somebody wants to betray the other or what have you. But as far as I'm aware, you two are now traveling together as, I was going to say a party, but I'll say a pirate crew.
Team?
A crew.
Yeah, we got a crew going on.
Now.
You got Wounded Blackbeard.
Bad.
He lost, like, his arm almost. And then you've got... There's actually 3 of you with the hawk, so that's a nifty one. Okay, technically it would have been Subark's turn next. I feel like that's too much, so I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up and say that that's the both your turns. I know it's kind of might feel unfair, but you get to RP, you get to play a little bit, and you guys are essentially a party at the moment, and we'll see how that goes. You're in the clearing. The Wraith is not on you guys yet, but if next turn you don't move, you might have some issues. So we're gonna skip past Subark and go to Bello. What would you like to do? I'm sorry?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Your mic is glitching a bit, I believe.
Indeed.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello!
Arr, matey. Now I want to be a pirate. How dare you?
You can join our crew if you get rid of the Wraith.
You are aware also, Bello, of the riddle. So that's an option if you would like to take it. If you have trouble with your mic, feel free to DM me what you would like to do. Okay, I got a DM here. You're going to go to the waterfall. Okay, awesome. So you have a very similar situation where you meet the mermaid. The mermaid is very nice to you and repeats the same riddle to you. If you don't remember it, I can repeat it for you. Awesome. So he knew the answer, and the correct answer to the riddle was corn. You peel off the outside and cook the inside, and then you eat the outside of that and throw away the core. So that was...
Hello?
Hello.
Is it better now? Oh, okay.
Hurrah!
And then I shout loudly and say, all those years of culinary school paid off.
What?
All those years in culinary school paid off?
What
Yeah.
be school?
I don't know either, me captain.
All right, so the mermaid is very pleased. That is definitely the correct answer. So she will reward you, which I will roll on the rewards table, which is the first time we've done this so far. I'm actually thought it would come up more often. She will give you... Oh, all right. She hands you the least obvious item of everything that on that list. She gives you this strange metallic fragment. You take this chunk of metal in your hand. It's about maybe fits in your palm, and it has weird angles. Some might even say in a non-fantasy setting that it's non-Euclidean. You don't really know what's going on with this thing, other than you suspect it is some portion of a whole. I will, as a DM, explain that this reward is lame on its own, but if you collect all of the pieces, it is an outstandingly powerful item. So you can just pocket that for now, and you have one of these fragment pieces. She also lets you know the second riddle, which is one that I made up, and you guys can make fun of me if it sounds stupid. Let's get that riddle going. She says, men claim to make me, but can't. Spend me, but can't grasp me. You have less of me now than you did, and you will never have enough. You cannot answer the riddle now. You already used your one answer per hour. You would have to stay here again to potentially answer that riddle, but you'll have a whole turn cycle to think about it.
Can we have the riddles written down? Maybe in
Sure.
the
Yeah.
roll 20.
I will give it to you. I will, yes. I will give it to you in assorted places. Here's it in Discord. Here's it in Roll20. Because I know Roll20 is going to get... You might need to screenshot it, but whatever. And because you went to the waterfall and Patches came out of the waterfall, we're going to see if there is an encounter again. And I'm rolling a... Wow. Okay, we rolled a 4, so you guys are very far apart from each other again. I may change that in future... in future battle royales, because that's quite a lot of
dice aren't weighted. This is an awful lot of 3s and 4s.
It is a lot. It is a lot. So if you guys could both, if Patches and Bello could both roll stealth and perception checks for me. Okay. You two ships passing in the night. No, yeah, so you guys didn't notice each other, which is totally okay with me. The rolls are coming in quick, so I'm okay with just saying let's move on to the next thing. So, awesome. That was the end of your turn. You collected one of these fragments. Trust me, some of the rewards for assorted things are actually really awesome. We'll see what happens. Patches, we're back. Or sorry, the second hour has now completed in this thing. That didn't take us half an hour this time, so maybe we'll get through this. We are at Patch's turn. What would you like to do?
So, I have this weapon that's called the net. Can I use that to fish in the river?
Yeah, sure. If that's something you'd like to do.
Yeah, I gotta get myself some fish.
Excellent. Okay. If you can just quickly roll survival for me. And we'll see if you caught any fish. Ooh. You did manage to catch, you got an old boot, and in that old boot was like a guppy. It was like a small, like, half-pound fish in there just flopping around. So you got this, maybe not half-pound. Let's use, I'm actually not American. I don't know why I said pound. But whatever, a small fish. Like, you got something. You got a little something. But while you're doing that, we're gonna have a couple of rolls. First one will be when you guys do random stuff in the forest. 1 second. Okay. I have to roll again. Okay, interesting. Okay. Before I explain what's going to happen there, I'm going to do a roll to see if you guys encounter each other again. Yeah, I rolled a 1 this time, so you guys encounter each other very close to each other, but before that happens, you actually accidentally, while you were fishing, stumbled on like a button or a switch or a pressure plate or something, your MacGuffin type D&D trap engagement, and the two of you are very close to each other and we're about to do engagement, but then when this trap came off, this like fog comes into the area and once it starts filling the area, I'm gonna have you guys both do a Constitution save if you can for me. Okay. All right. So Bello, you shake it off. You're fine. But Patches, this fog gets in your eyes and actually blinds you. You are currently not able to see, which is gonna give you a disadvantage on basically all your combat stuff.
Can I say what happened?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, can I see what's happening right now?
Oh yeah, sorry. We're gonna roll engagement now. You guys are actually very close to each other, so this is gonna get interesting very quick. I'm trying to decide if we should even roll stealth and perception. You know what? I'm just going to say you guys saw each other when this happened. You guys are coughing, making noise, and you're both aware of each other. But because I rolled a 1, you guys are very close to each other. You're only 20 feet away. One of you is blind and aware that there's another person nearby. In fact, in your mind's eye, you can see that person looking at you. Kind of like that little brother who would always screen look in shooters. You can see yourself. And Bello, you're aware of this person that's 20 feet from you. I'm going to have you guys roll initiative, but you don't necessarily have to fight if you choose not to on your turn. So, Bello, 16? Oh, you're faster. Okay, Patches, you are aware that there is someone there. What would you like to do with your turn? And you're blind.
But is it like blind where I can't see a thing, or like everything is extremely blurry?
It's pretty bad. Like you can kind of see, yeah, like things are extremely blurry. You're gonna have disadvantage attacking. You can attack. You can try to fight if you want. It's kind of like being in like darkness essentially. With all the rules for if one person is in darkness. Or blinded. I guess there's rules for blindness actually, and I'm just not recalling them.
Can I talk during her turn or no?
I'm gonna let her decide what she wants to do, and then it'll be up to you to talk on your turn. What would you like to do, Patches?
I'm gonna just try to move away while like clutching my eyes because I feel like, ow.
Okay. So
Kind of not fun being blind. And there's another person, kind of panic, move away.
Okay, so
Probably stumble.
I'll give you the full 60 feet movement away. So you're now 80 feet apart. And Bello, it is your turn.
I see this person stumbling around, moving backward, and I use all of my movement towards her. So my movement is 80 feet.
Okay.
And then I talk to her.
And then you talk to her?
You need help? You need help?
Oh, you guys are free to roleplay this back and forth.
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna leave her alone.
Okay.
Your turn.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you decide not to engage. That's totally cool. The two of you are in this area right now, and it's actually Patch's turn immediately after. Or no, sorry, this was Patch's turn. You were trying to fish. I'm getting confused. You passed the turn to her, and I was thinking the wrong kind of turn.
We're on
you're
combat
right. I guess technically we're still in combat initiative. So if she moves away again, I'll just assume the two of you are parting ways.
Yeah, I'm moving away. On my way.
Okay, so you guys are still in the same section, but you didn't engage. You didn't fight. You'll be blinded. I'll let you know when you're not blinded anymore. Next up is Terminus. It is your turn. You actually, I'll just cut you off right away. Sorry. You check your traps, and yeah, the berries are all eaten, and you manage to find like a small rabbit that fell to the rock trap. So you have like a dead rabbit now.
Neat. I'm gonna go ahead and cook that up later, but for now I will actually start moving.
Sweet. Feel free to send
I
me.
just wanted to ensure that I had food for the night this time.
No problem. You can just DM me where you'd like to move to. Excellent. Okay. So you successfully move. It takes you about an hour to travel there because everything takes an hour. And no one else is there, so there's no rules for encountering or anything. So it's kind of a short turn, but next turn you'll have options to do things in that new section.
Until then, neat.
Azel, it is your turn.
I would like to move into the center.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yarg!
Okay. You move into the center, and we're going to do an engagement roll. And this is going to get kind of interesting because there's just a lot of bodies in that area right now. A lot of things going on. So I will roll a 3. So you guys will be 120 feet away from each other.
Of course.
Yeah, go for it. If all three of you could roll your stealths and perceptions for me.
Well, it actually did it fast that time. I was expecting it to, like, by the time you asked, it might load in.
Yarg, I be sneaky.
All right, Azel is aware of them. And it's very likely everyone will notice each other because 2 people are rolling perception. You need to beat a 5. Yeah, okay. You guys don't have to roll anymore. Everybody sees everybody. You've got these 2 piratey-esque guys hanging out. You see them, and you also see in the distance, I'm going to give it 200 feet away, that wraith is still slowly... I don't know if you guys have seen the movie It That Follows, or It Follows. I'm getting that kind of vibe. You guys are getting that kind... Somehow, you're getting a movie vibe, even though you don't know what movies are. That this wraith thing is following Blackbeard. Yeah, so everyone's aware of everybody. I'm going to have you guys roll initiative and make decisions based on that. Okay. Waiting for Blackbeard's roll to go. Sweet. So you guys actually got the same initiative. I'm just gonna say Subark gets it first because his roll came in sooner.
Ahoy there! Who be you? I say to him.
I don't think that's a very important question considering what you have following you right now, but...
Aye, but that's gonna follow us regardless, I think.
Right.
Ah, so who be you?
Friend or foe?
I'm Aso. Are you sure you don't care about that thing following you?
Looks like we can outrun it at the moment.
Ah, it's like a lost puppy.
Right. I'll just be going past you now.
Are you sure you don't want to join our crew? It seems like there'd be safety in numbers here.
Ah,
I'm fairly sure I don't want to be joining your crew, especially. I think it's safe to assume that one of you is probably called Blackbeard, right?
that will be me.
I'll be going now.
Why did you know my name?
No particular reason. And, I'm speed walking towards the center.
I believe
After
that is
him.
rather suspicious, Captain. Let us investigate.
After that man.
Okay, so
Woman.
Owen. My perception is
Blackbeard
awful.
cares not for gender.
And I am blind.
okay, so my understanding is that Aesol is moving to trying to go walk past them to go to the puzzles.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving him a wide berth.
And the two of you are moving towards Aesol?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And the wraith is following the lot of you. Okay. Does anyone want to change course, or is I'm gonna say you guys are about 20 feet apart, and I'm gonna keep the initiative the same way.
Aesol is most definitely still giving him a wide berth, trying to get to the center.
Okay. You're 20 feet away. Or 30 feet away, sure. We'll say 30 feet. That's a wide berth. 30 feet away, kind of side by side, if you can kind of picture. You guys are like equal distance away from the Wraith, which is now 160 feet away. I mean, you guys are just estimating distances. You don't have meter sticks coming out of your eyes. Subark and Blackbeard technically have the initiative, so are you doing anything once you're this close?
So how'd you know me captain's name? I asked.
I found a book in that tower over there, and it just happened to have everybody's names. And next to Blackbeard's was, it was a little drawing of a ghost.
Can I roll insight?
Sure. Roll insight and roll deception for me.
I need to insight.
Oh, very deceptive. That's a. Well, that's because you're monk sorcerer. I was wondering. I'm like, why does this monk have good charisma? They believe you guys believe him. You guys think that he's just giving you a warning, a heads up that he read something about you being in danger.
I thank you then.
Good luck to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume you guys just continue running from the Wraith as your two-man party, and I will put Aesol near the puzzles. You don't have enough time. It took you an hour to get there. You don't have time to start working on them, but you're aware that they're 1/3 completed already.
Is this going to be a battle royale with only one instance of combat?
Yes.
That Wraith's gonna catch up eventually.
That's what Firebolt is for.
If you guys don't fight,
Other
things will come. The DM will throw things at you that fight.
How do wraiths swim?
This will be a game of Dungeons and Dragons where we just answer riddles and
Run away from wraiths.
and catch assorted food items, which may or may not be necessary. Okay, so Aesol moved to the center. Blackbeard and Subark, you are taking your turn collectively. I'm assuming you guys are choosing to move. You can actually move, since you're from the center, into any location. I don't know if you guys want to just both send me a number and see if it's the same number, or talk
I'll
about
let the
it.
captain decide.
I love how your voice just goes from pirate to Scottish.
Subak does not believe in being consistent.
Excellent. Okay. So I've been given a number. The two of you move to this location. Before I continue on, it is about halfway through the stream. How is everyone feeling? Do we need that break?
I'm fine.
I might
I'm
need a
fine.
minute or so.
Fine over here.
I'm sorry,
Or definitive.
did someone say they needed it?
I just need to pop away for a minute.
Can you just, sorry, I'm trying to keep track of voices. Can you remind me who you are?
Subark.
Subark. Okay. Let me do. Okay. We're gonna take a quick 5 then. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because something you're gonna be involved in something that happens, so I have
Alright.
to take a quick break. So I'm just gonna
no.
leave this up, and there'll just be no body here. And if a viewer shows up and wonders what's going on, I'll leave it to chat to tell them that there's a 5-minute break. Actually, you know what? You guys take a 5-minute break, and I'll just stay here and talk to the viewers.
I'm
Oh,
also
God.
available for viewer interaction.
Yeah, so am I, because if I take a break, I'm falling asleep.
I am also currently available for the viewing duration.
All right.
I do think
Are there any viewers? That's the question.
I do think most of the viewers are just us. So
Yeah, I would say a good percentage, which is fine. You know, to be fair, Fallstar and Ezekiel are watching, and so is Shocking. So I mean, they're not in the game, but they are
Yeah.
in the campaign that potentially could be. Maybe they're eyeing up the competition. They're like, oh, these guys might be playing. I don't know if we can handle a bunch of pirates on the high seas. It's actually interesting because they are
They have very
planning.
little to worry about.
They are
Wait.
planning a voyage in that campaign.
Oh.
So I mean, who knows?
We
Who
need to
knows?
steal our own ship.
unforeseen interactions.
Yeah.
The backstory, the lore, it's all coming together.
Lord, oh my god. To think I gave it such an awful name.
Everything is coming up Squidward. Squidward? Millhouse. I messed that up.
Everything is coming up Squidward. Well, he has got 8 more hands. He's got like 8 hands to bring up.
You know what? I just realized that I've been doing a whole half a stream without a tie on, and no one's commented on it.
Wow, what if someone had redeemed that final reward with the point?
God,
What would you have done?
I have returned.
You have returned. I appreciate it, Fallstar. The Mickey Mouse attack. I'm gonna redeem it tomorrow if that's all right.
Oh yeah, I need to save up some of those weird things in your chat options. I've seen some stuff I don't know what it means, but I'm gonna pay for.
Ha!
Okay, so I'll reward you guys with that later. Now that Subark, you are back, and I hope you guys don't mind me only calling you by your player names and not your Discord. or
That'd
your
be
Twitch.
fine, GM.
I have.
Ah, that's fine, matey.
You guys have more than one name, and it can sometimes get confusing for me. I did write them down. For example, I know that Subark is Hail Lucifer, and I know that Blackbeard is Mandrake, and I know that Terminus is Pokerface. And the reason I mention you is because they moved into your location, and we're gonna see if you are forced into interaction, even though you've been hiding from everybody.
Ah, yes.
Of
Shadow
course.
Sorcerer's worst fear. Talking to people.
I will be recruiting you into the crew soon enough.
Ah, none
That
of
or I plan on brutal. Well, I mean, it's either that or I brutally murder you. One of the two.
Or we do it to you.
or we lead the wraith to you.
So,
I actually have a wraith of my own. So, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, good God.
now we can have 2 wraiths fight to the death.
Maybe they will make friends and leave us be.
Oh, I can do the change my tie. That I can do.
Oh, no, I don't mean an
if you guys
actual
could just
creature
all
wraith.
roll
I
your
mean a shadow
stealth
dog.
and
let's
perception
go.
checks. We're kind of getting used to the flow of this now.
Yep.
You guys, actually, I rolled... You'll know what I rolled as soon as I explain it to you guys. You arrive to some kind of cliff. We've got Subark and Blackbeard are up on this like cliff. It's about like a 20-foot climb down, and then 120 feet away is our friend Terminus. You know, just like carrying a rabbit. So stealth was a 7. Perception was... Sir, I'm waiting for Terminus to roll stealth and perception, please. It might be the first time you've rolled anything, or did you do survival? I guess you did survival. And you fought something. So I guess it's... yeah. We'll wait on that real quick. Although, I imagine with 3 people...
He doesn't notice us, but we notice him.
Yeah.
Fought is a bit of a heavy word there, but yeah, I had a fight.
Yep, that's true. So the pirates are up on this cliff top. It's about a 20-foot climb down, which you guys can do if you want. And then 120 feet away is an unaware, oblivious Terminus. What would you guys like to do?
I turn to the captain and ask, "You think he'd be a good fit for the crew?"
We will call him over. Ahoy there, matey!
Okay, so you guys, he is no longer surprised. You guys are aware of each other now. You may
I'm gonna go
roleplay
ahead and...
this.
sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and look at them and use message to say, "Oh, hello there. What on earth are you all doing?"
We'd be looking for new members of the crew. Are you interested?
We have dental plans.
It's up to you guys to decide what to do. You guys can just roleplay this or move or whatever. It's free form at this point. There's no initiative.
Yeah, I think I'd like to climb down that 20-foot thing whilst we do.
I follow the captain.
So to confirm, the 3 of you are going to be together now?
We're waiting for
a response.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got your voices confused. The captain climbed down, and then Subark followed. Yeah, sorry. And Terminus, we're waiting for some kind of response from you on what you would like to do.
I think we've confused him.
Oh, no,
there are worse things to be had.
So in Terminus's silence, I'll kind of move. You feel free to message me.
He is typing.
Yeah, if you want to DM me, that's fine as well. If it's something in secret. While that's going on, you guys get down the cliff, and you guys look up, and that wraith is up there. So it's about like maybe 30-ish feet away from you.
But it's also on a cliff.
It is on a cliff. Yeah, it's there.
Take some fall damage.
I imagine it floats.
Then it'll be in the air for when we shoot it.
Terminus?
Looks like he's having some technical issues.
Technical. Maybe he's trying to download things illegally because he's a pirate.
He is now.
Forceful conscription.
What a
Press
shocking
ganging
thought.
is the
Alright, I'm going to just keep moving you guys towards him then. And give him a little bit of time. And then I might just assume he's gone mute in the game. Or maybe we'll come back.
Looks like he's typing something on Discord.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, we are only a few hours into this game. And we're running a little short on time.
Sorry, technical issues have happened.
That's okay.
It's alright.
Just continue the roleplay.
Sure.
Are you down to join our crew?
Fantastic benefits and open seas.
And safety in numbers on this rock.
That all depends. Do you all want some rabbit stew?
I'd be down for anything you're willing to share.
You
That
guys
sounds
should
delightful.
You guys should definitely stop and cook something.
Well,
So perhaps we should deal with that fellow over there, I say, pointing to the wraith.
It's following us like a lost puppy.
Though I don't think it's as benign as that, Captain.
It gives me the creeps, it does.
Like that? It's but a small dog.
Okay. So is the plan the three of you to continue together as a party and move away from the wraith?
I personally want to make them some rabbit stew, however I doubt the wraith will let us do that.
Perhaps we should kill the wraith and see if we can salvage anything.
That's a good idea.
I suppose we could try.
Are we gonna have some combat in this game?
Yep.
You are in fact going to have some combat in this game.
Okay, sweet. I will go get I'll quickly look up the stats for Wraith.
Oh good god, I don't know how strong a wraith is, I forgot.
Neither do I.
There's three of you now.
Yeah,
I mean, I put the Wraith in there assuming it would be a one-on-one fight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I didn't prepare for this.
But you see the captain visibly injured.
Yeah, the captain, yes.
Blackbeard.
And the Wraith is probably not going to pick at random who he attacks either, so...
About that, I may or may not be somewhat useless in this fight aside from Firebolt, as I am almost entirely based on killing players.
Well,
Yeah.
then do that then. I don't know. Maybe you turn around and kill Blackbeard and the Wraith leaves you both alone. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to have...
Firebolts be useful.
If you kill the captain, Polly will come down and pick out your eyeballs.
I'm going to put you guys 60 feet away from this Wraith. And it is down on the ground now. So you guys are just... It's flat ground, 60 feet. Nothing between you guys to get in the way. And I'm going to have us all roll initiative. So if you three could roll initiative, and I'll roll for the Wraith. And we'll see.
Oh yeah, actually, before I do that, I can, at will, I'd like to do mage armor on, I can do that at will.
Okay.
Yep.
You have mage armor. You suit up like Mighty Morphin Power Ranger style. You're ready for the fight.
Hang on. I'm doing it to a new member of the crew. I can't use it myself.
Oh, well this is rather handy. Thank you quite a bit, Blackbeard.
You're welcome.
Crewmates get protection.
We're still waiting for Blackbeard's roll to go through as the music
Indeed
plays.
we are, because Blackbeard's rolls are very low.
Yep, they are.
I'm gonna assume that he rolls worse than Subark. Will deal with it if I'm wrong. Subark, you're up first. This Wraith is 60 feet from you. What would you like to do? Okay, yeah, there we go.
Wow.
That's fine. That's where I kind of figured he'd be.
My rolls are trash.
Alright, I'll move to the front of the group and cast Chromatic Orb at the wraith with fire damage.
So, because you're
Eldritch
an
Knight.
Eldritch Knight, right? Sorry, I was like, I'm pretty sure you're the Eldritch. Okay, sounds good. Is that a DC? Is that a save or is that just a roll to hit?
It's an attack roll.
Okay, go for it.
It's okay. Give me a second. Wait. There we go. 14 to hit.
That does hit, and you do 13 points of
fire.
fire damage.
Yep.
So the Wraith is or I guess it's not approaching. It's wants to. Sorry, you moved to the front, so I'm gonna say you're like 5 feet closer.
Yeah.
And then the flames come flying at the Wraith, and they burst onto him. Or is it what is the spell? Chromatic Orb.
Yep. That's
I'm-
which used damage type.
I'm not entirely sure I'm describing what a Chromatic Orb spell looks
4
like.
inches large.
I'm gonna think it looks like kind of like a fiery orb
Ball?
of chromatics. So it flies at this thing, hits it, the flames burst around it. You don't feel like it had that great of an effect, though. It doesn't look like it really... It kind of shrugged it off.
Huh.
It is now the Wraith's turn, actually. It's very dexterous and got to go before the rest of you. It has a speed of 60, actually. It flies
Oh my.
right to Blackbeard.
Wait, do I get an attack of opportunity since it went by me?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Alright.
What are you using?
My hand axe.
Okay, go for it.
12.
A 12 will not hit the Wraith. It manages to kind of like, it's moving like fast, right, like eyeballing, and just, it was like this whole time it was kind of moving slow, and as soon as combat started, it like eyes lit up a little, and it just like bolted the 60 feet, and when your hand axe came by, it just zipped past its head. And
Out of curiosity, do I also get an attack of opportunity?
Looks like you should.
all right, yeah,
forgot-
you've convinced me.
Forgot to put an attack for what?
Good.
I got an attack. I forgot to put in an attack for a dagger.
So you would like to punch the Wraith?
Or cast a cantrip.
I don't
I
think
can't cast a cantrip at it without Warcaster.
Ah, yeah.
However, yeah, no, I guess I'm just punching the wraith for exactly 1 damage if it hits.
Sure. I'll let you know that non-magical bludgeoning damage will be resistant, so you'll actually do 0 damage. Okay. You punched that wraith good. It hurt its feelings. That wraith is sad.
It worked emotionally.
And that's all that matters.
Okay, so this
We
wraith.
can't kill it physically, we'll break it emotionally.
I am very worried for you, Blackbeard.
I.
I rolled terribly. Does a 10 hit you?
No, thank God.
Okay, so the wraith attempts to just like strangle you, and just like somehow death perception just misses, and like it's just grabbing, like it's right in your face, like scaring you. Assuming you're a person that could be scared, I'm gonna say you piddle yourself just a tiny bit, but it doesn't do any damage to you, and you're
You fiend.
temporarily respited from the wraith. Next up is Terminus. It is your turn. Keep in mind, to get that opportunity attack, I had to put you in melee range of the wraith, so if you want to do anything ranged now, you might have some trouble. So I don't know if asking for that opportunity attack was a good idea.
Yeah, no, that was not the smartest decision on my part.
I mean, we got to punch a ghost. I mean, that's sweet.
I have a very low AC and very low health. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Can't do it.
Are you running away from the wraith?
I am disengaging, yes.
Okay, so you're going to
That
use
traitorous
the disengage
dog.
action and move away 30 feet.
Correct.
Okay. So the pirates are now engaged with this wraith. Terminus is just like taken off.
If I
I'm
see you
sorry,
again,
Captain, I am
I'll
very
remember
weak
this.
physically.
And just surprised. Support in
Blackbeard.
a rage.
Oh, no.
It's Blackbeard's turn, and I believe you have your hawk available to you as well.
Oh, yes, I really need to find a stance for that. Oh, it's in close quarters. Jesus Christ. Oh, time to stab it with a dagger. Then I'm
Okay.
going to research what my hawk can do.
It can take the help action. It can't attack by itself, though, as far as I'm aware.
Yes, the bird can't actually attack. It can use help, or it can, like, I think it can pick small things up, or...
Yeah.
Drop
think
a rock on it.
Sure, if you'd like, but it will probably do as much as that punch. The dagger
just
coming
get it
in.
Just get it to peck its head. Just be irritating to it.
Which is the roll to hit on that
The
one?
top one. It was a 6 to hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
It's green though. I thought it was a good one, a good roll.
Yeah, no, I don't know why his specifically is set up weirdly like that.
I have no idea.
Either way, Blackbeard desperately tries to stab at this wraith, and it does not work.
Polly,
Death
help!
has
Oh,
cometh.
Polly!
Death has cometh for this pirate captain, that seems. We're back at the top of the round with Subark's turn. It's not looking good.
Okay, let me just check something. Well, how close is it to me?
You guys took attacks of opportunity. I'm saying everyone's in melee.
No, I meant since it went behind me to the captain. Is it within 15 feet?
Yes.
All right.
I'm actually not in melee anymore.
Sorry. Yeah, Terminus isn't in melee anymore. He's
I'll
gone.
cast Lightning Lure to pull it towards me.
Okay. Sounds good. Is that a roll to hit?
Cantrip.
Oh, DC. That I remember having to look that one up because it was one of the few that weren't like a standard spell that I'd seen before. So it has a DC strength save?
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it fails. Wraiths have very bad strength. So you successfully deal 1 point. You rolled a 1? All right.
I did? Well, it's close to me.
Yes.
Which-
You also feel that lightning damage isn't so good against this thing, and it shrugs off the damage, but it is now immediately beside you.
All right. And I believe I can make one more attack roll, right? Or am
Sorry?
I mistaken? Just checking something.
Casting a spell isn't.
I'm assuming the lure was an action. If it's a bonus
Yeah.
action, then maybe you have something else, but I would be surprised.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
Out of curiosity, can you pair meta magics together?
I think so.
You mean use more than one of them in the same spell?
Yes.
I'm going to allow it. It sounds like something you could do, and it's fun, so yeah, sure.
Yay.
Technically speaking, no, but DM allowed it, so.
I feel like the answer is no, but
Yeah.
I want the answer to be yes, so it would be yes.
I feel like I'm about to die.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that's the end of Subark's turn. So the Wraith was pulled back, annoyed, almost punched, almost this, almost that, but then it just immediately turns back to Blackbeard and bolts towards it. You may have another attack of opportunity with your axe if you'd like.
I would.
I'm gonna be honest. This is probably gonna only end one way. Yeah,
Quite
that
good.
does connect, and the slashing damage comes in, and he takes a bit of slashing damage. I'm keeping track of that sweet, sweet Wraith HP as you hack away at it very slowly at this corporal being.
So long as it keeps missing the captain, I can keep doing this.
That's right. As long as you get lucky, you cannot lose.
Oh, blind luck, a pirate's best friend.
Indeed.
Here comes the
Luck's
Wraith.
on our side.
It rolls. Oh God, a nat 1. So you are somehow still alive. I mean, I feel like this is just kind of possibly wasting everyone's time, but that's
I
okay.
feel like we should probably have yakety sax on in the background.
Go ahead, Blackbeard. Terminus. Technically, your turn. You're 30 feet away. Are you just continuing to bolt?
Oh, no. This time I'm doing something fun.
Okay, let's see it.
Basically, I want to cast... I want to cast, what the hell is it called? Yeah. Firebolt. Then I want to use Twin Spell on it, and because it's a cantrip, it only uses one sorcery point, so I can also use Subtle Spell on it to make one of those a bonus action to use 3 Firebolts.
Woo!
Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're doing. I'm okay with that. 3 firebolts it is. A bunch of sorcery points, but that's fine with me.
This race be going down tonight.
Your yellow belly hope.
Feel free to roll
Ghost.
those 3 hits. Okay, so the 8... Are those all the rolls to hit? Yeah.
Yep, looks like it.
So I just ignore the second rolls and I do the first ones. So we have 2 misses and a hit. You may roll one of the damage for one of them.
Why did I even bother?
Because you had hope, matey.
Okay, 11 or 12 points of damage. Yeah, that's. I mean,
that's
it's
that's
not
just straight
nothing.
up.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
just.
think that's how it is. Yeah, that's if it's a critical, which I doubt you're making it a critical.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
So it
3
was only
points of
3
damage.
points of
That is nothing.
Yeah, because he.
okay. So it did
roll
a
with
tiny bit of damage, and it mildly annoyed the wraith.
That was all of my sorcery points.
I am not. You guys are making these choices freely. It is Blackbeard's turn. The wraith is staring at you. What would you like to do?
What have I brought upon this game?
This is also right next. Is it still right next to
It
me?
is. Yes, it's right on you.
God damn it! Oh, stab that! Stab it in the eye.
All right, give it a good
Ah.
stab. And while we're waiting for that roll to go through, Subark, you may also tell me what you would like to do.
I think you know what I'm doing. Lightning lure.
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
And we'll see if that dagger stab comes through as well.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay, so it's 8 damage if it misses the save, and it does. So it's some amount of lightning damage. The bolts gather and circle through its form. The dagger is 5 damage. Okay, it's non-magical, so it takes a little bit of stabby stab damage. It does not look like it. The total amount of damage you've done to this guy, it doesn't seem like it cares that much. The amount of damage.
We'll be whittling it down one way or another.
Yeah, you guys are
eventually
punching this granite pillar, and it's slowly chipping away.
Aye, but it's chipping all the same.
Have faith.
You guys have chosen this.
What do you mean? This was sent upon me, a curse by the gods.
So the wraith was pulled again. You may do your axe. Go ahead. You get your opportunity attack as it completely ignores you and it tries to kill Blackbeard again. Yeah, it takes
19.
Takes some
4
damage.
slashing damage.
Yeah, you chop at it, and you're not sure. You kind of think you've got purchase on something, maybe, possibly. It takes some damage.
We be shipping this thing apart one way or another.
Oh, we're hacking it to pieces.
The wraith gets its turn now. Let's see if it is a nat 1 again. What does it roll?
Everyone, I am sorry for the amount of time this will take.
Okay, does a 17? Does a 17 hit you, Blackbeard?
Yeah, yes it does.
You sure you don't want to just lie about it? Okay.
To lie.
Let's see how much damage it does before I do its special effect, because it's probably just gonna get you. Oh God, that's a lot. Okay.
Oh no.
Captain!
Oh yeah.
It did 20. It did 21 points of necrotic damage to you.
By the seas!
Can I go out? I'm gonna
I
go
do
out on a
believe that
limb.
he has knocked you out, Captain.
I think it does more than knock me out.
Well, how many hit points did you have remaining, and what was your maximum?
My maximum was 24 and I had 8 remaining.
Okay, so it doesn't outright kill you, right? It has to do your maximum.
Outright.
Or does it double? Does it have to do double your current, or how does
Over your current.
It has to do your maximum HP in negative. So if
That's
you
yeah,
took, like
yeah, exactly.
So it's 21 damage, right?
Yeah, so it's you didn't outright die, but yeah, it did drain you of your
Death
life
saves.
essence. You also can you please make a Constitution save? Because if you fail that, you lose 21 maximum hit points. So then you will just die outright.
oopsie.
About 10 hours later.
Yeah, we gotta wait for the longest.
And this is what we get for trying to team up in a game without killing each other.
This wraith
I mean,
is
this
just
isn't
supposed to
entirely
hunt
up to
down
me.
and kill the person written in the list eventually. I thought you guys would just run away, not try to cook a rabbit.
I mean, in my defense, it was a damn good rabbit.
It still may be.
The love of the rabbit was too much. Oh, come on, load.
Captain, I'll win this for you in your memory if you die.
Okay. I'm gonna, until the roll goes through, I'm gonna assume that he fails this Constitution save, and play it off as if he failed. If he makes a miraculous recovery, we'll come back to it. But I'm gonna assume that this wraith has successfully killed Blackbeard, and he will be the first death of our battle royale. Do you have something prepared for as your life is draining from your body?
Oh, Polly, take my place as captain.
So, Blackbeard dies. His
I
hawk
follow your
pops
last
out of
order.
existence, and the wraith dissipates into the ether and does
Wow,
not
it wasn't-
continue to attack the rest of you.
Wow, well,
It
it
was a
wasn't quite-
lengthy battle that we will all remember.
As Blackbeard's final stand.
Oh my god, yes, my con check 1d20 plus it was 22.
Oh,
2022?
22.
I don't know. I don't know why it's not loading.
I don't
Let's
know
now
either.
continue.
Sure, you made a you're still there, but I mean the rest of the team can't do. I mean,
Kel.
Death saves. Just
I mean you
death
can
save the
do
rest
death
of the game.
saves, but it's gonna ignore the other party members and attack you while you're down. It's gonna kill you.
Oh god damn it.
It won't dissipate until you're
Actually-
dead. So I'm just gonna
about that,
expedite this a little bit. I appreciate this save, and I'll factor that into potentially something down the road for you.
I actually do potentially have a plan that may solve this.
Okay, so you want to keep doing the combat?
I'll be listening to your orders then.
So long as he succeeds at least one so long as he doesn't roll a nat one in his death save, I have a plan that may save him.
Okay, that's cool. So the wraith is still there. It's Terminus's turn. Terminus, go ahead. He can do a death save, but we're gonna assume that it doesn't.
It will
isn't-
require 2 rounds, so chances are this won't work, but fuck it, it's good enough
Oh,
anyway.
if it's
I
2
like-
rounds, the wraith is gonna attack him, and it counts as a critical. I'm
no.
sorry. I don't really want to. I
Yeah,
just
fair
kind of want to
enough.
move
Yeah,
this along.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's
guys.
fair. Y'all want to hear the plan? Y'all want to hear the plan anyway?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Basically, I was gonna try to make him invisible with one of my spells, and then try to cast a minor illusion of him later down,
Oh, I see.
down a couple of feet, give or take.
Could I grapple it?
I'm just gonna call it because I kind of want to move on and give the rest of the
just call it
team,
right now.
rest of the players something to do. So
I think we just took half an hour out of the game.
Blackbeard is
Yep.
officially dead. We'll see
Correct.
how that plays out down the road. It might not be the end of Blackbeard. We'll see what happens.
Captain, I'll avenge you one way or another.
Terminus and Subark are at an undisclosed location. You guys just know they're together. And finally, we will move on to.
I don't even know where I am.
Oh,
That's
goodness,
true. Blackbeard has to message you where you guys are. It is Bellow's turn if you would like to take your turn. If you're still around, Bellow.
I'm still close to the waterfall, right?
Yes, you are. I appreciate your patience, by the way.
I answer the riddle and say time.
Time is correct. That is the answer to that riddle. Men claim to make me but can't. You can say you're making time but you can't. Spend it but you can't hold it. You have less now than you did. Yeah. Either way, if you reread the riddle, definitely got it. And we get to roll to see what reward the mermaid gives you. I hope it's something awesome. Oh. Okay, let's see. It is... Okay, what are you? You're a monk? Are you what kind of gear do you have? Or do you have a weapon?
I have 3 weapons.
Oh, you're a Kensai, right. Okay, what weapon are you, the last weapon your character has touched? You can just say, basically.
Scimitar, I think.
Scimitar? Okay, so the mermaid hands you a magical +2 version of that scimitar that you now have.
Oh. Hello?
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 Nope.
She hands. So you got a +2 scimitar now. So if you get into
Okay.
combat, you're gonna be dicey to deal with.
When I've heard the other riddle, can I still do stuff?
Yeah, sure. Because technically, you answered you waited that you answered the riddle, and then there's an hour wait. So sure, I'll give you the other riddle just so everybody has it, and then yeah, you can still do something. That's fine. You can hold me, but I'm unseen. I can be good or bad, but not evil. Without me, you will surely die.
Can you write that again?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. And then I look for food around the area.
Sure. So you venture into the forest and you start looking for food. Can you do a quick survival check for me? Oh, that's the wrong dice.
I got a 6.
Okay. You found some berries as well, but you're not entirely sure if you should eat them or not.
Can I investigate the berries further?
Well, I'm gonna base it on your survival, which is you think the berries are good to eat, but you don't actually know. The DM knows. Also, while you're doing that in the forest there, you actually come across something that we as a community have already seen once before. There's a pedestal with a book with names on it. And when you go up to it, there's a quill there, and you notice 6 names, and one of them is already crossed out, Blackbeard.
Oh no.
What would you like to do?
The book or not? Hello?
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 I take the book?
And no, it's like
No.
bolted to the table.
Just on a pedestal?
Yeah, it's a magical pedestal. You're not really supposed to steal from the bank. Everything's chained. There's like a chain on the quill, and you're like, what the? I want this.
And then you said Subart and Terminus are together?
Yes, they are.
I write the name of Sola Lak.
What?
Sorry? You're...
Solak?
Oh, Acel Solak?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay, you're right. Okay. I understand what's going on there. Let me keep track of where something is.
I guess I deserve this.
Revenge.
The pirate's curse.
You'll be dragged down to Davy Jones' lockup one way or another.
Okay. You
And I
right?
would say, never mind.
Okay. And since you stayed in the same area, I'm gonna see if you interact with Patches, which I also hope you've stuck it out and you're still around.
Yes.
Excellent. I rolled a 3. Can you guys do your stealths and perceptions for me? Actually, sorry.
Wow.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say because you're blind, your perception's terrible, anyways. But the rolls worked out.
That's okay, you're just role playing it.
Yeah. So Bello is 120 feet away. You see Patches there. She's still grasping her eyes, but I mean, you didn't attack her last time, so unless you change your mind this time.
Slaughter.
Can I go close to her? I get closer to her.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. You're about 60 feet away from her now. Or do you want to get even closer?
Oh, I have 80. I have 40.
Okay,
movement
sure.
speed.
Sure, you're right. So you're 40 feet from her. She's kind of hearing you now, so...
I'm just waiting for her reaction.
Sure. Patches, you are now aware that Bello is... Or someone is about 40 feet away from you.
I try to hide and move away.
Okay. So she's moving away from the noise. What would you like to do, Bella?
I'm going back towards near the waterfall.
Okay, so you just let her go. Okay, that's fine. We are at... Sorry, that is the 3rd hour of the day of finally completing. I'm not sure if we're going to finish this. We'll see how far we can go. I might just call it. There's a meteor crash. Everyone dies in an hour. I don't know. We'll see. Either way.
The world's full. Everyone dies.
We're at
Literally.
Patch's turn, and she finally rubs the poison out of her eyes and is able to see again. And it's your turn, so you can tell me what you'd like to do with your hour.
Oh, thank God, what a relief. Guess I'll fish some more. Need a better food than a shoe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just want... it's been 3 hours, and I should just let everyone know that no one is starting to feel hungry. It could just be you all had a big meal before you showed up. You haven't quite figured it out yet, but as far as you know, food does not... No one's starving or hungry yet. Yeah, you caught like a small... you didn't get the little fish in a boot. You got like a meal. You got like a fish, one fish.
Nice.
I will roll to see what happens to you. Oh, I can always roll the wrong one. What is that? Oh my goodness. That is... Oh, goodness. Okay, so while you're doing that, just looking at... do you have a weapon other than the bow that you use?
Yes.
Okay. Can you notice a flock of birds fly by, and while you're busy fishing, one of them drops by nearby you and tries to take your sword from you. It's big enough to carry your sword and tries to... I'm sorry, did you say sword? I'm assuming... I think you said sword, right? Yeah. Basically, whatever you said your weapon was other than the bow.
Yeah, a long sword.
A long sword. Okay. The bird is trying to carry it away. I need you to make a dex save to keep this thing from trying to steal your weapon. Okay. Yeah, that's an amazing save. So you're good. These birds came and they tried to steal an item from you, and you managed to get away to keep that from happening. And you catch that fish that we mentioned earlier, and that is...
Pesky birds.
I was tempted to have it try to steal a fish, but I'm like, no, that's mean. You just caught that thing. So next on the list is Terminus. You are with Subark at the moment, and I just want to mention that Blackbeard's body has a tribute on it. I just wanted to let you guys know that there's a tribute laying on the ground.
Fight.
But it is your turn, Terminus. You can decide what you... Or, sorry, it's Terminus and Subark's turn together, unless they choose to do something.
Are we in agreement to seek revenge for Blackbeard?
Something tells me that we won't be able to. Seems to have faded off. However, I will make a compromise with you. I can make a compromise with you. If we meet that thing again, I promise to fight alongside you, so long as you fight alongside me.
Aye, that sounds like a good deal. Now
In that
let's see
case-
if the captain had anything useful for us to survive and avenge him with.
There appears to be a tribute on him. We could just take that.
You can have it. I grabbed the bird.
His hawk poofed
The
out
parrot.
of existence. Oh, he had a parrot this whole time?
Yes.
Excellent. Sure, you have a parrot now.
Alright,
And
I'll take the tribute. He takes the parrot, I suppose, and does moving to another area sound good?
I'll let you decide.
sounds good. Send me a message. Since you're the only one who actually knows where you are.
I
And Subark is just kind of lost in the woods. You're sending me a message where you're going to be going? Well, okay. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to move along to the next person's turn. Oh, never mind. Here it comes. Excellent. Yeah, there's no interaction. You guys successfully moved there. So we're at Aesel's turn.
I would like to head over to 3.
Okay. You didn't have to tell me 3, but
I'm fine with announcing it.
sounds good. So you didn't want to sit there and do puzzles while a potential wraith comes and kills you?
Wow, what a surprise!
Okay. So you move to 3.
Correct.
Are you just are you beelining to that puzzle?
To the riddle?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, the riddle.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine. Do you know the answer to the riddle?
I believe it is. I can say it, right?
Yeah, just say it out loud.
Okay. I believe it is breath.
It is, indeed. I'm glad you guys are solving my riddles. I feel like they're either too easy or awesome. I'm going to say they're awesome because I'm the DM and I get to decide things.
Wait, someone's beside me now?
Yeah, well, there'll be an interaction with actually the 3 of you in a second. But I will let you receive a reward for answering that riddle. That's not the right die. I gotta roll a d12. Oh, okay. So the mermaid actually hands you a coin, tribute. She hands you an extra tribute. She had one, and that's what you get for solving that riddle. She will also tell you guys the 4th and final riddle. I don't have more than 4, but I do have 4. This one is kind of weird, so I was like, it's the last one, right? So it can be as weird as I want it to be. I'll paste it first, and then I'll read it out loud to stream if they're curious. There are 2 brothers. The first says, I burn, but am not hot. The second says, I freeze, but am not cold. The first brother then kills the second brother and says, this is the root of all success.
Where is that written?
I put it... Oh, sorry. I didn't hit enter in Roll20. I did put it on the Discord as well. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the riddles, or at least just like the rewards that you get. So now I'll see the 3 of you will actually be in contact with each other. I guess I'll roll 2 times. Okay, interesting. So, this was Aesel moving, right? So Aesel is 20 feet from Patches and 120 feet from Bellow. And I would like... Ooh, this is going to be weird. Yeah, you're all going to roll Perception and Stealth. And we'll see who sees each other. And I may just say, like, random stuff here. And make, like, random calls on who can see who.
Okay.
We just...
Alright.
None of us see each other.
Well... Bellow's just... I'm just going to take you out of the equation. Not only did you not see anyone because your perception was low, you were very stealthy and no one saw you. So I'm just going to deal with Patches and Aesel coming in contact with one another. And, it looks like Patches... No, you're right. Am I crazy? Yeah, I guess everyone just misses each other. You're right. You guys are right. I don't know why. I guess because some of them are swapped. It's like stealth and perception. Some people did perception and stealth, so I was looking at the numbers wrong. Yeah, you're right, though. Everyone somehow, in a three-way, just... Maybe that was a bad choice of words, but the three of you completely miss each other, and no one is...
I'm busy figuring out what the bears are doing.
Yeah.
I just want to fight something. Rolls, please.
All right, so Blackbeard misses his turn. Subark already moved with Terminus. He doesn't know exactly where they are, but they did move. So now we're
I have no idea where I am at any given time.
We're at Bellow's turn.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Do I feel hungry? Will I feel hungry anytime soon?
You don't think so. You don't feel like you're hungry or no hunger has pains. It's been 3 hours. You don't feel like it's been 3 hours. You feel like you just showed up as far as hunger is concerned.
I'm not finished figuring out the puzzle. I'm just going to say hard work. Hello? Hard work.
Hard work? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
For the riddle, I'm answering to the mermaid.
You're answering. Oh, I see. Hard work. She likes it, but she's gonna let you know that the solution will be two things. You're gonna be answering what each brother is, and hard work is neither of the answers.
Oh, gotcha. I flee from this area.
Okay.
I don't want to be here, and I move here.
Sure. Okay, excellent. And you are there now. All right, so that was the 4th hour completing, and at the 4-hour mark, that's when the beacons come down and ping where currently there are 2 people with 2 tribute, which is Terminus and is it Azel? I believe you just got one for completing a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know where Azel is. He's at the waterfall. But a beacon also pings Terminus, and they're actually at 4. Subark and Terminus are at 4. And then obviously, from if you could use basic logic, Bellow is not at 4, or there would have been an interaction. We're back at the top of the order. Patches, what would you like to do?
Since Azel was pinged and are in the same area as me, can I seek them out?
Yes, that makes sense to me. I'll allow that.
We were like 20 feet from each other last time, so.
Yep. You can. Do you? It's your choice. Do you want to approach him or do you want to ambush him? Like, try to get him unawares.
By the way.
Ambush.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say that you are definitely not seen yet. It's gonna be based on Azel's. Azel roll stealth, and Patch's roll perception. And if you beat that, then you'll have surprise. Okay, so you didn't.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say you tried to surprise him, but you didn't. And I'm gonna have you guys. You know what? I'm gonna let you decide the engagement distance, though. How far away do you want to be when you start?
I'd say 100 feet.
100 feet? Okay, 100 feet, and I'm assuming that we're doing combat, so let's just roll initiative. And if you guys decide to talk or something instead, you can do that during your initiative turns.
Oakley dokley. Ooh.
Oh, all right. So you've tried real hard to surprise this guy, but he is just aware today and knows you're there. But you haven't done anything aggressive yet, but you also haven't met yet. So, Azel, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
After hearing, like, I don't know, a twig snap or something like that, Azel looks over towards Patches and just waves. Can I help you?
Okay, so that's the end of your bit. Patches,
Yeah,
what would you
that's-
like to do?
I reply, yes, you could help me by handing over those coins of yours. Or else.
Entry. Yar would have made a good pirate. If you hadn't tried to kill the captain, that is.
That's true. I was like, when did that happen? Oh yeah, it was the first thing that happened.
Literally round one.
um,
Are we having a conversation or?
I don't know. You guys can talk until someone does an attack. I'll just assume you guys are role playing until someone does.
I did just Loki threaten you, though.
Yeah, I know. I just wasn't sure if you were gonna follow that up with an attack or if that was like starting a conversation. Anyway. Sorry, but I don't think I can do that. Now, if your somewhat pathetic attempt at robbing me is over now, I'm going to go leave.
Not on my watch. I tried to shoot him.
Okay, sounds good. You can roll to attack.
That's
21, yeah, that hits. But you're a monk? Actually, you're only a level 2 monk, so I
Yep.
guess you can't catch the arrow, right?
Nope, I cannot. But something I can do is
Yes. What does that give you? +5?
5
Yeah,
AC.
+5.
So
I
you're...
should have done the math fast. That matches. I'm stupid.
I'll allow you to not use it. You don't have to waste the spell slot. But yeah, I was like, ooh, your AC is 17? That's pretty good. But you're only, I'm assuming 16 in 21 matches.
Yeah, 16.
Okay, so you take an arrow. The second actual combat player versus player action, a second arrow, and it's going to act very similarly. It's going to delve almost like she plans to always hit in the same spot in people's arms. You get it like right in your shoulder and you're taken back, and I'm going to let her decide the arcane archer portion.
Sure, since I hit and who knows if I'm gonna be lucky enough to hit again, I'm gonna make that a grasping arrow.
Sure. What does Wow, okay. Yeah, sounds good. And it takes the first time on each turn if it moves 1 foot. Wow. Arcane Archer, jeez. How come you guys didn't all just play Arcane Archers?
You only get 2 uses of it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so you're done.
You get 2
Okay.
uses per long
That's her
rest.
second arcane arrow, so.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of look like they kill people. So, all right. So you can roll the 2d6 poison, and then he's rooted. Or sorry, I guess you're both playing female characters. So.
But my character is male.
Oh, your character's male. I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies. I actually didn't write down male or female. And then some people were saying they were female, and I was like, I don't know who's who. Anyways, me, putting my own foot in my mouth aside, that's 11 total points of damage to Azel. And it is now your turn, but moving looks terrible as an option.
I would like to try and make that athletics check to remove the brambles.
Okay, sounds good.
There it is.
Oh, DM, what season is it right now?
I'm sorry?
What season is it right now?
Season?
Yes.
It's, I don't know, spring. It's just a nice sunny day. The weather's been good so far. Oh, you wanted to know because that's how your elf thing works. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I should have read your elf thing, and then I should have. All right, I'm gonna say spring.
It to be spring?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not necessarily tied to the actual season, but
I think it is.
You can choose to change on a rest.
Oh, so I can
First
peek right
damage
now?
turn is- Okay. So you're free to move now, but you don't have an action. Is that my understanding of what happened there?
Yeah, I don't have an action.
Okay.
Although I would like to use one key point to bonus action dash, so that brings my speed up to 40, and I'm heading towards him.
Okay. It brings your speed back up to 40, so you move.
No, it brings it. Oh wait, hang on. Oh yeah, no, that would just be 60 then.
What's your speed? So your speed is normally 40. It went down to. Oh yeah. It's 60. Yeah,
and
you're,
dash
you're right.
doubles. Yeah.
And we said 100 feet, so now you're 40 feet away. Okay, awesome. And now it's Patch's turn.
I'm gonna try to disengage and run away.
Okay, you don't need to. It's only 40. He's still 40 feet away, or she is 40 feet away still. So you don't. You can just. Yeah, you just want to move 60 feet and run.
Yes.
Okay. You guys are now 100 feet apart again. It is your turn, Azel, and you're no longer. Am I right that the reduction? How long does the?
I think I would assume the speed reduction is just as long as you're affected by the brown.
Yeah, I feel like you have your full movement now. If you want to try to catch up.
What was the distance again? 100.
100.
Okay. I would like to. This is such a stupid idea, by the way, but I'd like to spend my other key point to bonus action dash, and also use my main action to dash at the same time, bringing my speed up to 120.
Sure. I feel. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna just allow that to happen. I'm trying to remember if you can do 2 dashes, but it doesn't matter. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna allow it because you're gonna run up to Patches and then just stop dead front, engaged, but not attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys are now in melee range from each other, but it is Patches' turn. What would you like to do?
Would it be a dumb idea to use my net?
Your net?
Yes, my net.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're right. I just never seen it before, so I was like, I think there's no rule against you doing double dashes. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, so you attacked.
I think.
Why twice?
I think it's.
Oh, I accidentally clicked on it to look at
Oh, I see. Okay.
what it does again.
Alright.
I'll take the top one though, which is a miss. So you attack with the net, and Aesol kind of ducks and moves out of the way. Is that the end of your turn? Is that it for you, Patches?
Yes, I just tried to restrain this fellow.
Okay, so it misses, and I guess it's Azel's turn.
This really is not the best attempt at robbing me. I've had multiple people try better, and I'm going to try and punch their lights out.
Okay, sounds good.
Actually...
Are you? Who has the? Oh, is it Bello that has the scimitar? I forget.
Yeah, Bello's the Kensei.
Ah, that's right.
Monk.
There's 2 monks. Ah, I'm confused. Okay.
Oh no.
The first strike definitely misses. I don't have to ask about that.
Yeah.
You give an elbow, miss, and then you follow up.
It's 19 hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So elbow goes wide, and then she tries to follow it through with a hook with the other hand.
Okay, so you get a jab in there, and that's 4 points of bludgeoning damage to Patches. First blood on Patches to the person who's been murderizing so far. It's top of the order. Patches, it's your turn again.
Oh well, I guess I have to use my longsword. I'll try to slash at them.
Sounds good. Go for it. A little one-on-one melee action.
That does not hit.
Does not hit. 16 for a monk. Plus you can do shield, which I'm scared that that's going to come up.
I am already scared.
Yeah, should be.
Is that the end of your turn, Patches?
Why must Blackbeard taunt me like this?
That wasn't me.
All pirates sound the same.
Because we don't have two
Pirates
axes.
are from Bristol.
Okay, well, if that's all you're doing, then I guess it's the monk's turn. Hazel?
I would like to attempt to disarm this fellow with a sword.
Sure. I forget exactly the rules. I remember looking it up, and it seemed fine. It was like you do a roll against their roll.
It is... I'll put it in a regular chat.
All right. So a 9. If you hit, which you did,
Yeah.
the target has.
I've...
You don't do damage.
Yeah, no, I don't do damage. It's just that it automatically rolls the damage with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Patches, you can decide to either roll athletics or acrobatics to avoid it on a. What's the DC?
DC is 19.
I guess it's
This
irrelevant.
is
Oh, the
not
DC
my
is
day
the.
today.
The DC
Yeah, the
is
DC
the
is my
hit.
attack roll.
Oh,
It works the same way that grappling does, but instead of grappling them, you knock the weapon out of their hand.
okay. So you successfully punch the sword out of Patch's hand. It's on the ground now.
If you want, I can do attack descriptions. I'm fine with doing that, but it's up to you. Because it might take a bit too long.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
To try and take advantage of the whiff swing, she reaches out, grabs Patch's wrist, and kind of shoulder barges into her to knock try and wrestle the sword out of the grip.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's much better than punching the sword. I didn't understand.
Would be a bad idea.
I was like,
Punching
what are we
sword's a
saying?
good way to cut your hand.
That was the nicest way someone's ever told me I was an idiot. I'm just gonna say.
Wait, do I take damage from this or no?
No, you don't take any
it's just a
damage.
disarm.
But I'm gonna guess once the sword is disarmed that you'll be picking it up.
Yeah, technically speaking, it is just dropped at your feet, but yeah. I can't. Even though that does use the attack action, I don't think I can follow up with the bonus action.
That
point, so
I was gonna
is
say the
my
same
turn.
thing. I think you're right on that.
Monks are weird.
Yeah, monks are weird.
I
I'm gonna rule that you don't get to do the final upswing, but you can. I believe you can free action. Or are you just gonna leave it on the ground? Is that the idea?
Actually, yeah. Can I try and like kick it away as a bonus action?
Well, picking an object up is a free action.
I mean, like kicking it away.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
So... Okay.
I don't know. I'm just gonna not do a roll and just say you successfully kick the sword 15 feet away.
Okay. And yeah, that'll end my time.
Okay. Patches is your turn, and you are missing a sword.
Well, that's a lost cause. I tried to move away and shoot at them with my bow instead.
Okay. So you're gonna move away, and that's gonna cause an attack of opportunity for the monk.
Mm-hmm. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you try to move away, and there comes. He tries to punch the sword out of your hand. No. you get like a bit of a flying kick kind of hit in the back of you as you move away, but then you immediately turn around, pull your bow out, and you may fire a shot. 15 15 misses. So the arrow goes wide. I guess the kick puts you off kilter and you kind of stumble a little and the shot goes straight up into the air. And yeah, that was 5 points. I don't know if you marked the 5 points of bludgeoning, but he did get you, or she.
Just did.
And now it's Azel's turn again, and you're about 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm. I would like to move up and I'm going to try and do shocking grasp. What kind of armor are you wearing?
Leather.
Leather. Okay, so that's just regular then. Ooh, 12. I assume does not hit.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You take 0 lightning damage.
Yeah, that's my action. That's my ton.
Okay. There is a monk a foot from you. What would you like to do, Patches?
I said I was gonna do.
If I tried to move away again, would that give them another attack of opportunity?
It does, yeah.
Unless you disengage, yes.
Yeah, you can use your action, but then you wouldn't be able to fire an arrow. This monk's gonna just keep getting at you. You can technically fire your arrow with disadvantage in close combat, and then you don't have to move away. But then he can also just disarm your bow out of your hand.
Fuck.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'll just take my full action to disengage, like skedaddle out of there.
Okay. You're 30 feet away, and it is now Azel's turn again.
5 feet.
This is starting to go. As you guys are moving around, it's Azel, it's your turn. I'm just going to see something real quick.
Okay.
You can still take your turn. I'm just doing something in the meantime.
Oh, okay. I think you can see where this is going because disengaging in 5th edition sucks unless you have additional movement speed. I'm just gonna run up to her and go for a Superman punch.
Sounds good.
And promptly sidestepped.
Yep.
Style
You missed, but you get your bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that hits. 7 points of bludgeoning damage is a bunch, but it is a fighter. I mean, she's got options.
Whiffs the Superman punch, comes up in a roll, and immediately goes for a leg sweep.
Okay, you hit her in the leg, or him in the leg, and obviously doesn't fall over, but takes damage as it connects. As we get ready,
a little bit.
as we get ready to go back to the top of the order, you guys notice a flying sword about 60 feet away that just was like roaming around, and it is gonna roll into your initiative order here real quick.
Oh god.
Okay, it's gonna go after both of you. So, Patch's turn is first.
Could I, in theory, still try running up and getting my sword? That does not fly, sadly.
Yeah. No, that one doesn't. Yeah, you could have. Actually, in all those disengages, you could have moved the 30 feet to where the sword was. Or the 15 feet.
Dumb.
So, I'm going to just say you actually, in all your scurrying around, you look down and you're actually standing where the sword was. And you're like, oh, I can just pick it up.
Good old theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Not according to plan.
Oops. I accidentally walked over the sword. So yeah, you can just pick it up if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm grabbing that bad boy.
Sounds good. You still have an action if you'd like.
Oh, that was a bonus action.
It's a free action.
It's free action, yeah.
Yeah, you get one free item interaction per turn.
Yeah. This is where Azel's like ruining the DM. Like, come on. Seriously, man? I worked really hard to disarm that thing.
I can just do it again.
It's true. But there's going to be
So
a sword
I can attack?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Well, I'm gonna screw this monk. And I better hit. This sucks.
A never-ending cycle.
I know. I thought this PvP would be more dynamic. I wasn't expecting like a really slow exchange of misses.
Yes, negative white filtering the firebolts.
Does 20 hit?
Does indeed hit.
You're okay. I'm just making sure that you're not throwing up a shield or anything. So the 7 damage does cut into. As you do this like kind of expert maneuver where you kind of the trip came in and hit your leg, you almost like feign falling while you pick up the sword and come back, and you manage to actually stab into where the arrow already still lodged in the arm, and you get it again, kind of with a quick slash, and do 7 points of damage to that monk. But now, unless you're taking a bonus action of some sort, I believe it's Azel's turn again.
Yeah, I don't think I have any.
Okay.
Wait.
You're a level 3. I don't know which kind of fighter you are, but.
Wait, I do have a bonus action.
Yeah, you should have second wind and also action surge, I think.
Yeah. I almost feel bad because, like, as much as it looked like the monk was beating the snot out of you, fighters are pretty pretty strong.
You do get completely free 1d10 healing plus 3. 1d10 plus 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my second wind thing, because I do need that health back.
Okay. You may roll the, what is it, 1d10?
1d10 plus your fighter level, so 3.
So 3.
Yeah.
Go for it. And completely put this away, I guess. 7 hit points? It's a lot of hit points to get back. Okay. It is Azel's turn, and then the sword's turn. The flying sword that's 60 feet away from you guys. Kind of off to the side.
So, noticing that Patches has kind of started to shrug off the punches that she's throwing, I'm going to try for another shocking grasp.
Okay.
Does 14 doesn't hit, does it?
No.
Well, my armor class is exactly 14, so I don't know.
Oh, match is a hit.
Okay. Yep. That is a hit then. Wasn't the other one a 14?
No, the other one was. What was it?
Okay.
I think it was 12.
It's fine. So the 14 hits and you take a single point, if I'm reading that right, of lightning damage?
A single point of lightning damage, but you also can't take reactions.
Oh, that's why you did it. Yeah, okay. So you can't react when the monk dashes away or runs away.
I can't dash, but I am going to try and run away.
Okay. 40 feet?
Yeah, 40 feet.
All right, you guys are 40 feet apart. The flying sword is going to move kind of in between you guys. It's about 10 feet from both of you right now. Or I guess it doesn't make sense. 20 feet from both of you. And then it is Patch's turn.
I guess we'll shoot at Azel.
Okay.
With my bow.
Sounds good.
Does a 23 hit?
23 does in fact hit. And that brings me down to 0 HP, exactly.
Okay, so Azel is on the ground, bleeding at the moment. But that flying sword is going to pick a fight with the only person that's left standing. And it's going to come at you, Patches. I actually thought this was going to break things up, but it turns out it might just kill everybody. Well, you know, the DM does things, and then they happen.
The dice are a fickle mistress.
The sword, oh god, rolls a critical hit.
Arg!
God.
And does 11 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
As it cuts through your your armor and your defenses. That's gotta hurt. DM sucks.
Yeah, I have only 2 hit points.
Well, you're not down. You're not down. But it is your turn, and I'm gonna ask Azel to make a death save.
Death saving throw.
Although I don't know how much that will matter. Okay, you made. I guess you can eventually recover if you make your saves.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Patches. Or Patches Cell. There's a flying sword engaged in melee combat with you. Flying around, swinging. A part of me was like, I'm going to put an enemy here, and then you guys are going to team up and fight it together, because that's how the Wraith worked.
Oh, no.
Crew.
The pirate crew.
The pirates stick together. We ain't
The pirate. The code of honor
Die
of the
brutally.
7 seas.
All right, what would you like to do, Patches?
I tried to throw a net on sword, so it wouldn't like. So I'd be restrained.
Okay, go for
I
it.
don't want to deal with this thing.
Ooh, that's not going to do it.
That'd be a natural one there.
That stinks.
So that's... I may just... Honest... Okay. I guess this is how we're going to end this thing. Or not end it, but like... The stream is getting close to the end anyways. Let's see what this flying sword does. A 17. You already said a 14 is your armor class, so it's going to hit you again. I think it has to do at least 2 points of damage. Yeah, I just did 3 points of damage to you with that sword. I mean, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the monster. I rolled on the table. The sword came up. It's not my fault.
Yeah, right.
So,
But
This
Thank
is
you,
the
Liam.
paramount
I'm
for the
down.
actions.
so I'm gonna kind of. I guess you guys can roll, and potentially you. Even if you stabilize, though, you don't come back to 1 HP unless you roll a nat 20, right?
No, I think it's stabilized.
I think it's after 1d4 hours of being stabilized, you wake up with 1 HP. but,
Okay.
yeah, only a nat 20 can get you back on your feet immediately. A nat 20 or like being healed.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll... instead of having you guys roll over and over again, I'm just going to roll quickly to see if you guys both survive. Okay, I'm going to say you guys made your saves, and now I'm going to roll to see how many hours each of you is going to be laying there for. It looks like you guys are going to both be there for 2 hours, bleeding out. And the other people are aware that you guys are bleeding out and can do as they please with that information.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you guys both...
Distressed unconscious noises.
That does sound appropriate. Okay.
Vengeance for the captain.
We've got a couple minutes left, and we're going to try to get through at least this turn, this round. So up is Terminus and Subark, who are together. What would you like to do?
I'll be advancing to where that group was that got pinged.
Sounds good. That makes perfect sense to me. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I'm gonna have you guys show up, see the 2 people bleeding out. What would you guys like to do about that?
Well, no time.
Well, I recognize that monk over there. Perhaps I should help him.
I'll roll. Could I speed up his recovery by rolling medicine?
You guys are helping. You guys are helping Azel and leaving Patches, or are you helping both?
I might end up
Actually,
killing
I'm very-
Patches.
Actually, I'll be taking Patches as tribute.
Go for it.
Okay, so Terminus now has 3 tributes. Takes Patches
You'd
as
be correct in
tribute.
that.
And Subark, you are not taking...
I'm rolling to try and help Azel recover with a 14.
It's weird that you rolled perception.
Oh, wrong one.
You are
medicine
aware
checks
that
don't-
he's bleeding out.
Yeah.
Ah,
Or
well, that's the
she
first
is
step to
bleeding out.
recovery.
I don't feel like that was a good enough medicine roll. You kind of
Yeah.
poke and prod, and they're stable, but they're not coming to. Is the plan to stick around until they come to?
Well, the question is, did Blackbeard tell me who shot him?
That's true. I don't know. Is Blackbeard still around?
Apparent is.
To be fair, I'm probably the only one with like an obvious bow.
That's true. This is the first bow that you've seen. And I also specifically mentioned the way the bow hit him was identical to the way Blackbeard was hit. And he never did try to remove that arrow, so I don't know. Maybe with the 14 perception that you randomly rolled, you do come to the conclusion.
That was more of a misclick. But it looks like I'll be getting some vengeance for the captain after all.
So then, I suppose you'd like to do the honors?
More distressed unconscious noises.
Oh,
Do I
man.
roll with advantage since she's on the ground unconscious?
I don't really think you'd have to roll in that case.
If
Go ahead.
your plan is to take Patches' life, okay. Oh, this makes me feel so sad. Okay,
Off with our
Patches
head.
is... It has to happen in a PvP. It does happen eventually. Is the second person to face death in this game. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean the end, although the stream is coming to an end, and we'll see. Maybe we'll try to set up a second part to this to finish it off, depending on who can arrive and whatnot. I know some of you took weird hours to make this work, or even time off work to arrive, so we'll have to see what happens. Is the plan to rescue Azel then?
Aye, rescue Azel
okay.
and slay
There
the
is-
other.
There is one fault I can see in this plan.
Which being,
She is still marked for death.
not that we know that.
Yeah,
No,
you
but I did.
technically. Oh yeah, you did it, didn't you? Or no, who did it? Actually, sorry, I'm
That
confused.
was Bello.
Bello did it. Oh, you're right. So you guys aren't even aware that the Wraith is potentially coming down the.
I'm
down the pipe.
avenging the captain.
I mean, to be fair, I think they'd actually appreciate the fact the chance to fight it again, but it sounds.
Aye, my vengeance will be complete.
Okay, I'm gonna have you guys stay there for the full 2 hours. So I'm actually gonna give you, just to finish this off, Bella, you have 2 hours to do stuff instead of just the one. You can take 2 turns immediately. Are you still there?
Hello, who are you talking to?
Bello?
Oh, me.
Yes.
Sorry.
So that since the entire other people that are alive are all in that one spot waiting for Azel to recover, I'm just going to give you 2 hours to play with right now. So you can do 2 things or 2 turns worth of stuff right now.
Is the puzzle completed or no?
No, actually, it's an hour's worth was done, and it's a third of the way done. So
So I need 2/3.
you need 2 hours, and you have 2 hours if that is what you would like to do.
Is he in the center though?
No, I'm not.
I'm pretty sure that's where you moved, yeah, or maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. You're right. I'm sorry. I should have said anything. I'm a bad person. I'm sorry.
There's only like 4 minutes left. It's fine.
I tried to avoid everyone and got my place recognized. I'll just complete it if that's.
It makes
if I
sense to
can
me.
complete it now and then.
It just like everything fell into place. Like all the puzzle pieces, you had exactly 2
Hello?
hours, and
That's hello.
I'm not sure what that is. But as you complete the puzzles and everything comes into place, rises up a small gold plate with 2 tribute coins on it. I'm not sure how many that brings you up to. Is that 3 total?
That'd be 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Isol has
Nothing.
2. Terminus has 3, and this means that Bello now has 3.
Has 3 as well. Also, it's been 6 hours, which is the 3-hour mark when we do the pings, I think? Or did I say 4 hours?
4 hours.
It's 4 hours, so it's not yet. I think we're going to have to call it here, but as far as I'm concerned, Azel is back on his feet again, although I'd have to look it up, but I'm not exactly sure how many hit points you have.
I'd have 1
That's what I'm thinking, is you're at 1 HP. Also, there may be a Wraith relatively close to you guys.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Terminus currently has the most tributes.
Tied with Bello, yeah. The 2 of them have 3 apiece because he finished the puzzle. I mean, it was a little anticlimactic that he got the extra 2 pieces, but those were the rules that were set forth when the game started.
Yeah, just everyone else is fighting. And then
he's just sitting there like solving a Rubik's cube.
He's just playing the game. He's just playing the game properly, letting us let everyone else kill each other. And he just solves the
While y'all have been fighting, I have currently not attacked a single person.
You're just chilling.
Yeah,
You don't really know where you are. Are
I'm
you
just
even fully
making
aware
that
anyone
do.
on this island?
Okay.
Just
Just to
thinks he's
wrap
on his own
things up,
island.
I don't
We
actually
got a group
think
of 3.
I don't think I could actually make another full 3-hour stream. So I guess this is just the end of this battle royale. But I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. There were rules to have people who died come. Actually, you know what? Technically, enough time came back that Blackbeard actually, as a final note, returns to life. His body returns to
I
life.
want to say we were dragging him with us.
I could imagine you doing that for some reason.
He returns to life, but as an undead revenant, and
Oh yes.
he can't accept tribute and can't win the game, but he gets like some stat bonuses and can pick someone to have vengeance for. But I mean, the thing that killed him was the Wraith, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's hunting the Wraith. Like the Wraith is coming to you guys, and he wants to kill the Wraith. And as like the 2 of you just like start running at each other to like get into a deadlock, then we cut to black and credits roll, and that's the end of this battle royale.
I think we can all agree the main villain there was the Wraith.
Subak now is a burning
Man was,
hatred for
I mean,
race.
he was never caught for condemning me to death. No one ever knew.
All right. I hope everybody had a great time. I will talk to you guys in Discord over the next little bit, and we'll see what we can do, what we can work out. Maybe we want to do another one of these or something different down the road. We'll figure that out. But as an honor for all of you guys showing up, unless you don't want to, I'm going to give each of you a moment to just say a final word before we close the stream, starting with the top of the order, which is Patches. If you just want to say goodbye or thank you or something.
Thank you for the amazing time, bro. It was great, not gonna lie. Hopefully it put on a good enough impression. Yeehaw. See ya, folks.
Awesome. Terminus? I'll accept that.
Perfect final word.
Awesome.
Aye.
Azel, what would you like to say?
Silent type.
Azel, do you have...
Nah.
Okay, cool. Blackbeard, do you want to say something coming back from the dead?
Thank you for tuning into the BBC. We'll be ending our scheduled programming for tonight. Good night, Britain.
Excellent. Subark, would you like something?
Vengeance has only just begun.
Battle Royale 2 Electric Boogaloo, planned for release in 2022. Bello, would you like a sign-off? Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you, all of you, for showing up. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. This went... It had some moments that I kind of wasn't surprised wouldn't work out flawlessly, but overall I think it was actually really not bad at all, considering how many moving parts there were and things that could have gone far worse. I think that we actually had a really good time. Everybody watching the stream, I hope you have a good night. And tomorrow will be just regular MTG, and then next Sunday we'll be continuing the regular campaign, which part 6 is up on the website and YouTube. I recommend watching those to keep up to date. And I, as the DM, have to get on working content for them with only a couple days left instead of a full week to prepare, but that's okay. Everybody, I hope you have a good night, and thank you.